Yo, yo. What up, Voided? Yo. Oh, shit. Starting off with a primer already? Thank you, B-Rux. Thank you, bro. Jesus, we just started. Respect, bro. SRG versus Q? Yeah, we're going to start with that. We didn't get to watch the SRG game. I wanted to cover all of the SRG games. So, figured I'll play like one knockout, give people some time to join up. I haven't played knockout yet, so I wanted to give it a shot. And then we'll go through that in a VOD review. SRG versus Q. Should be fun. Should be fun. Thanks again, B-Rooks. What up, bro? How are you? I'm doing pretty well. Yo, this knockout thing has pretty long queue time, no? Maybe it's just because I'm only on Cali. Have you guys played this yet? Knockout? Is it fun? Nobody plays knockout. Haven't played? Yeah, I mean, makes sense, honestly. Makes sense. Went back to TDM after one game. It's actually quite fun. Can you review some Ascendant 3 Clovod today? The VODs that I have today. Well, I mean, surely Hex shows up. I obviously don't know what he's doing, but Hex is usually here. Sent him a message asking if he was going to be around. No response yet, though. If Hex isn't here, then we'll have Gold 2 Neon and... We did one with Bobby, so I'll probably put Bobby's off for a bit. We have Ascendant 3 Neon as well that I could do, which would be Sage. All random one site was actually nice. Yeah, I didn't mind all random one site. I didn't mind it. Bro, like, what the fuck? What's actually taking so long? Seeing the two back-to-back Neon games with different ranks would be fun to watch. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, Neon is such a hard agent, bro. Like, Neon and Gold sounds like misery. Like, it sounds like so hard to play. If you don't have, like, good mechanics, like, really good mechanics. But I guess on the flip side of that, you play against somebody with bad mechanics too, and you're playing Neon. What skin should I run for rank today? Prelude, Glitch Pop, RGX, or Primordium? Oh, fuck. I've been using Primordium. But RGX is low-key underrated. I feel like I haven't seen people use RGX in a while. I'm gonna use RGX. Did you watch the new Andrews vid about countering stage 1 meta? No, I didn't. I did not. But based on some of the things that he said, I can kind of guess what's in the video. I would fully guess that it's just talking about the like rock paper scissors of like slotting in a Yoru in your comp versus slotting in a Vice in your comp, or playing Waylay Sky Neon. Because that's kind of the thought process a lot of people have currently. And if that's exactly what the video is on, then I do agree. I do agree. I think if you were to only play one of those comps, you'd probably want to play what? Probably want to play the Vice comp right now. If you were going to one-trick a comp. One-trick the Vice comp, expect everybody to play the Waylay Neon Sky. And, you know, if somebody has a specialist Yoru, then just unlucky. Because right now, everybody is like so... I mean, shit, we're watching Neon today. Fuck it, I'll play Neon. What's the weirdest warm-up you've seen a player do? Weirdest. Probably whenever I turn on Som stream, bro. Som is just perma saturating around like knifing knifing the bots and shit. Actually, Downbees was pretty funny. Downbees was just slide bucking every bot. I don't know. People don't really have that weird of warm-ups. The Sinatra warm-up? What does he do? Pretty much the same as Som, I see. Satchel no scope the bots. That's fire. That's actually fire. So people actually play this game mode, huh? We actually found a game. Yo, how come we found a game on California server when I was sitting in queue for like 4 minutes? Whatever. I mean, they offer you Ghost or Bandit. I mean, this is just better, no?
Match starting soon.
Who's by far the best player you've coached in pro play? No, this gun does not shoot straight, bro. I'll be the one to say it. Oh, fuck. It's not me, it's the gun. It's not me, it's the gun. See? It's not me, it's the gun. By far the best player I've coached? Bro, I wouldn't really say by far, but Ethan was probably the most seamless. He's the most seamless to work with because it feels like he had a pretty similar mindset, like trying to optimize utility, get really good value off of his. Okay. Did you miss the SRG VOD? No, not really. We're just starting with like a knockout game so people can join. Also, my audio is like... Bro, I literally play with like absolute min audio. Oh my god, I just walked through the smoke on accident. Bro, I don't know why I looked at my minimap. Why am I looking at my minimap in this game mode? I'm like still waking up too. Sleep schedule's been so bad. I did a 10-minute SRG VOD review. Man, I low-key would prefer TDM. Not even low-key, I think. Shot me midair. Unlucky. For once, I'm not here right as you're ending. Bro, all of my keybinds are like fucked up from like videos that I've done. Like I'm pressing Q. Like before, I would press my I'll show you my actual settings. So I was doing that one video. Where I was doing the double bind with the with like the shoot plus refract. And I had to change my own settings to like make that video. No. So I like completely botched my own game. Because whenever I play Neon, I usually would use my like thumb mouse button to do the stun, because like it doesn't fuck your movement at all. Pressing Q while trying to like strafe sideways, kind of fucked. Oh. Wait. I'm actually confused. Oh, fuck. Behind enemy lines. Holy shit, we're back. Is Neon movement that hard? I think it's pretty hard, yeah. I think it's pretty hard, to be honest. Because you have to move in a way that, like... You have to move in a way that you don't insta-die. And then you have to react. Okay, like, there's, like, one tech on Neon that's actually, like, insanely hard to do. It's, like, the jump spot into slide. That shit is actually fucking difficult. Well, I would say that like bunny hopping around on Neon is fucking easy. But like doing it effectively is what's actually hard. Yo, bring me back. No. No. Yup. Bring me back though. Bring me back. No, it's over. It's fucking over. Wait, he's just hiding behind the barrier? I don't think really anyone finds like the bee hopping aspect of Neon hard. Like this is easy as shit. Struggle with pressing Q2. I know that the really good Neon players or the really good Raze players. Hold on. I'm so bad. Fuck. Man, the slow like caught me on the back end too. It fucked my movement. What up, Mir? I'm actually so boosted at Neon. It's crazy. Spotting through your own wall and then insist on sliding is hard, but OP. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I've watched like a fair bit of Neon. Watched a fair bit of Neon. And I just think that like putting a lot of that stuff into practice outside of just B-hop running around the map is a lot harder than people think, for sure. Like doing even just like the basic like jump spot and insta slide is so hard. Like you can do it in an empty server pretty comfortably. But like actually when you're in the middle of a round Like, this is what it looks like when you fuck it up. It just takes way too long. The really good race players, they use either a thumb button, so I'm using my thumb mouse button, or it's really common that they use their thumb, like on their keyboard hand. My God, bro. I'm actually such a boomer. You can tell I don't play the game that much. It's actually fucked. It's actually fucked. Thumb to press Q. Yeah. You use either one of your thumbs because it doesn't impact your WASD. It's actually disgusting how, like, I'm looking at my own mechanics like, bro, like, what am I doing? I think this is like one of the easier things you can do on Neon too. Oh my God, bro. You guys will never understand until you're old. It's like everything that I'm doing in my brain, it's like I can't even do what I visualize. It's so bad. If I practice it though, it'd be fine. Looking like me out there. I mean, I don't know what's happening too. It feels like I'm bugged, low-key. I literally, I can't do it. I can't do what my brain wants me to do. I'm gonna jump through this. There we go. That is more so what I want to do. Jesus. You need to end your jump with your W key pressed, then you can slide anywhere. That makes sense. Then you get shot once and it's hard to slide where you want, you just die. See, like this instant, like if I want to end with like a side dash, it's like even if I end with W, it's like I'm not trying to really end with W is the thing. I don't know. Anyway, we'll get into the VOD review. Bro, it's actually crazy. It's actually crazy. Anyway, let's go. Let's go, let's go. All right, Epic Pen. Let's get it out. Let's get out the Epic Pen. Even that's hard. Even if that's hard, you can also do a 360, then slide. Get the Epic Pen out. We'll get this show on the road. Okay. What up, Two Fish? I'm 32 years old. New Dale. 32 years old. Okay, so there is, for context, there's no casters. No casters in this. Also, when did they start playing? Stage 1, March. I think this, they only have matches starting from March, right? Because they played in this one Fun Haver and that's it. Yeah. Kind of interested to see. Let's go to stats on both. What about pigeons, actually? They've been playing pretty much the whole time. Since the new year. Well, shit, they've been playing pretty much even before the new year. Zix, have they ever asked you to do desk work? When I was coaching, yes. Since I stopped coaching, no. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I would really want to do desk work. Just not something that interests me too much. Okay, we'll just only do recent games. Man, that's actually so many maps from recent games. What the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? Since March only. It's been 1 month. 1 month, and they have like 6 reps of breeze, 8 reps of fracture. Like, what the hell? Okay, let's see. So the veto was ban breeze, ban bind. Breeze seems to be their permaban. Bind was their old permaban, but what I found really interesting every time I watch this team is that both Effies and Shopify Rebellion Gold were permabanning bind, right? But now that they've went to their own direction, whatever, both of them open bind now. So that's kind of like, wonder how that happened. Pigeons doesn't look like they have a permaban. Maybe Pearl is the only one that they haven't really played. This was against M80 though, and they won. So I don't really get it. They banned bind anyway. What? Not gonna lie, I see this bind, I'm feeling pretty cozy. Anyway. SRG picks split, Coup picks fracture. This comp, Sage. Okay. Probably going well for them in scrims or something, if I had to imagine. Fracture was unshown for SRG. This is the first time they play it. They got kind of taken out. Sky on fracture. Okay. Let's hop into it, bro. Let's see what we can learn. Deadlock on split. Neon Sky deadlock. Deadlock is interesting. I've thought about this deadlock agent a lot. I feel like deadlock is super good if you're playing with like Razor Teo. I feel like without Razor Teo, the amount of value you get out of things like net goes down like a substantial amount. You can do things like net plus stun to guarantee value and then like punish. But like you accidentally end up killing people more often than you'd think if you just net plus nade, net plus KO missile every single round. Okay, literally the perfect start. It quite literally doesn't get better than that. They do a deep push A. Waylay's hidden through the wall. Peeks through. Kills 2. Regroup A. Slime A. Turtle Smoke are already placed before they even confirm are going up. Hat Guy is live. Let's go. Jesus. Yeah, Hat Guy is here. I think about this a lot, bro. There's some teams that don't speed up off of 2 kills early. I think if people are in position to speed up is usually pretty valid. Like, this is the position of everyone on the map. I think a speed up here is pretty valid. Take the space. Go into A. But if they want to work it slow, like, I get it. Some teams just have different identities. I think the odds that you catch this guy off where Sky can't really escape the scenario. So like here, right? It puts this guy in a weird spot. If Sky wants to like play into the site, it becomes a lot easier to trade the Sky. But the worry is you don't really know exactly, right? You don't know exactly if there's going to be 3 people on A, if they can make it there in time. So the slowdown is fine. What up, crazy boy? Thank you, bro. Thank you for the sub. Much appreciated. SRG generally like to play slow, but sometimes it's too timid. You'll see it more on Fracture. Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to macro decision making, like, going slow is not often the wrong decision. It's not often the wrong decision if you still have a minute and 10 left in play, you know? Because, like, this kind of opportunity will open up where people start trying to walk around the map and you can kind of get a punish for free. And then here now, you know, it's crazy that, I'm assuming his name is Koof. It's crazy that Koof gets 2 here. Like, generally when you're in these kinds of angles that are like just straight up an off angle, where you're going to likely get traded. First, this isn't really the kind of angle you want to play when you're down numbers. Because this is like guaranteed way to get like 1 for 1.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
I think it's like a small thing, but whenever you're the person in the front, I like there's like subtle movement things here. I think Dodo Nut, instead of like crouching, committing to the fight, it would be really, really good if Dodo Nut just, as, you know, gets caught off guard, just like slams the A key and just tries to go as wide across the angle as possible.
One enemy remaining.
It's something you'd see, literally something would do. Whenever you're hard entering, you get caught off guard, you just hold the strafe key. Just try to make as much space as possible and then just spam your ghost. Don't even worry about your own fight necessarily. Pretty good though. Pretty good overall though. The sum swing, yeah. Okay, anti-eco round. Let's see the game plan. Personally, I really like ramp. I think ramp is so good on these rounds. I think just holding space is also pretty valid. Holding space, maybe doing like slow B main if you want to spread the map. I think if you're playing Sky, there's also validity to just dog out sight and see if it's a stack. Seems like they're going to go for a slow ramp kind of round. Mollied out lower, walk up ramp, take the contact fight. They're going to dog actually. Okay. Does the dog go into sight? That's like my only concern here. Dog gets canceled early. I'm not gonna lie, I've always held the opinion that dogs should be saved for sight on eco rounds, anti-eco. I think that, okay, there's a few different types of teams, right, when it comes to the eco round. A few different types of teams. Teams that do aggressive plays, so like these like deep pushes, right? Any of these deep pushes. There's teams that play standard, like, you know, 1-2-2. This is like the worst eco round in my opinion. And then there's teams that will do like 4-1s where they're like hard stacking on site silently. My question is here, what does this dog do? Like what option is this eliminating from those like ones that we just talked about? The molly prevents this. The molly prevents a fast B or a fast A, which is good. The dog from here clears out, like, realistically, like, very, very minimal space. The dog acts as an entry to clear out ropes and this close corner and flower. So we still are kind of like big time question marks about like all of sight, like literally all of sight in the smoke, hell, you know, back map, this could be a 4-man, 5-man A stack, and we would just have no idea. I think the drone utility needs to be used on site to prevent the silent stack. Because now a lot of these fights you'll come to see will have to end up being face checks. So we face checked into this smoke. Face check there. Blind was used on elbow, but nobody scaled with it. Alongside, like, blind on elbow is not really going to be that effective, right? Like, the person that got blind elbow could just be tucked here. And it's a whole lot of face checks, right? Like, Waylay's literally full face checking right now into sight. No utility. So, like, while it doesn't actually matter that much because no one's here, you can kind of see the flow-on effect of, like, the type of fights that you're going to end up getting against an eco if you don't properly use your dog to clear space. I think if you do go ramp, what could have looked really good in this round, they do everything that they already did ramp. Perfect. Wall this off. You start your dog with the intention of clearing sight. Like, for example, Sky comes back down here, dogs out all of sight while this wall goes down. That's going to make it so you basically clear literally everything out while you're holding the space, still getting the long range fight. Good morning, Zix. I just read your message. I'll message to you. 8 a.m. Malaysia. Okay, what time is Malaysia? Sheesh. Okay. Three and a half hours. Okay. Okay. Let's go back into it. All right, let's go. Would have been cool if she dogged ramp to Rafters to Hell. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like what the dog was doing. It felt like the dog was canceled early. I could be wrong about the dog range, but... And it's such a small detail, but I do think it's like more accurate. It's more accurate to dog sight, for sure. It just helps you ensure that the sight is free. You can do like a heaven plant, hold the long range angles on ramp instead of having to scale ramp. There's a lot of benefits to dogging sight instead. I think the fights that you'll get close ramp probably better than the fights that you'll have to get face checking into A site. Bunch of people W keying, no util. What the dog doing? Mentioned. Nice. Okay. Eco round or bonus round. Flash clears inside B main. I'm gonna try to be as nitpicky as possible just so we can kind of talk about everything. This flash is not a good flash to clear B main. If the goal is to get info in B main, this is not a good flash because a player that's even like back here, very unlikely somebody's back here, but anybody that's like in this zone would have gotten hit by the flash. Like the flash pops here, right? Anybody that's actually just facing B is gonna usually get hit by this flash, and this would give false info. There's a flash you can do right here, clears all of B main specifically. If the goal is to deny this line too, then I think you'd want it to be more around this area. It ends up effectively doing the same thing, but it's small optimization. What up, Shoot Doge? How's it going, bro? Okay, this looks to be a regroup on the deadlock wall. Deadlock wall lasts 30 seconds. So some people will just time it out, wait for 30 seconds. Let's see when it was placed. Okay, it's actually placed late round. Pretty good by Pigeons. The late round wall throws, I think, are way more beneficial And I like that. I like the idea that they have, right? They're trying to use deadlock to deny the Viper lurk on their first gun round. This one will be a hard watch. I wish you luck of watching this back. That's okay. What up, Mel? Hope you're doing well. It's kind of hard to start your pop from here. I think that's like kind of the benefit of deadlock, right? If they break this wall early, it becomes so obvious, right? You can even play for the deeper choke. Net comes in to separate. I think it's a really small detail thing, but it's actually really important. One person should be breaking this wall, so it's not 5 people giving it away. If 5 people give this away, and the deadlock knows that it's not just one lurk. Holy shit, 5 gifted? Thank you, Mel. Holy shit. Much appreciated. Holy moly. But yeah, I think one person breaking this wall is like a bit more accurate, right? Because if the feeling of deadlock here is, fuck, man, the lurker is just breaking my wall, and you don't know if it's 1, 5. They're probably not as prepped. Because, like, okay, I'm going to ask the question. Do you think that Cuz's reaction here to pull out net is based on one person breaking the wall, or because it's 5? You know what I mean? Kind of an important detail. Close. Trades go well.
30 seconds left. Last player standing.
Man, this net or this sensor is so nice.
30 seconds left. Last player standing.
Going all lower A versus deadlock was so troll. Yeah, I mean, I kind of... Yeah. Man, deadlock is such a good character against your comp. No way to break this sensor ahead of time. This sensor is pretty fucking deadly too. You're always going to be running in this space. 35 seconds to go, so you're probably feeling the pressure of time. The fact that that trade comes is pretty fucking nice, I won't lie. This round became way more playable. The smoke's already gone. Makes sense. The smokes are being thrown now. So we're expecting to like hard scale here. Yeah, I mean, all of this definitely makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on something.
30 seconds left.
I can't remember which round it was, but at some point I was like, we were banned from going A through lower. Stuns ate us up every time. Yeah, trying to funnel through one choke is pretty fucking rough. I think the thing I'm gonna keep an eye on, because I still see this so often in tier 2. As uncomfortable as it is for everybody to walk through this choke, it's still pretty important, low key. Because in a very, very, very like micro aspect, like you could end up walking into this and breaking the trip. But I understand the viewpoint of also like, bro, deadlock like changes how the game is played, right? Usually you would feel comfortable here just wide swinging these angles in sight to try to entry for your team when you're a 4-man clump.
30 seconds left.
And I mean, whatever. For these trades, whatever. It's fine. We're 15 minutes in. B main slow from Sage, I think, is good. Guys do a 2-2-1 every round. High low held for mid. Waylays in the area to, I guess, slow. Slow in the case they try to sprint down A main. What the fuck just happened? Guys, I don't like our default. Yeah. Why is our Sky walking like this? What is happening, bro? That's okay. Good ass spot, no cap. What is this emo, bro? Who's this diva? Okay. Alright, this is the first gun round, so a lot of the prep that you'll see kind of should come in this round. So the idea is 2-2-1. Looks like Omen has blind held. It's so hard to tell what's going on. Slow comes into ropes. What's the intention here? I'll definitely say this was super wasted slow. Okay, now this is... Did we also use a Sky Flash? Sounded like it. Hawk out. If we used the Sky Flash and slow, and the only thing that we got effectively was Viper putting the orb up, doesn't feel very good, for sure. Dog plus smoke is pretty common. We're pressuring the A cross basically, which usually would bring a few people toward A, unless they have a read in the round. In this case, they must have a read in the round because they do not care about this cross A.
Shadows traveling. 30 seconds left.
Fuck. Okay, I like pretty much everything that happened here. The entry landing spot being in the open kind of fucked Dodo a bit.
2 seconds left.
But the small pauses here to get good spacing, I think was really, really good. Probably don't have a smoke for spawn, given that we smoked mid for the fake. But man, this is like kind of like why, if I recall correctly, he was trying to get Viper to pop orb Molly. Bad util trade, do you think? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think I think the absolute best approach in mid is you have to find a way to burn the Viper's orb, and especially if you know they don't have an operator. If you know they don't have an operator, I think contacting mid is like the most broken thing you can do. Every successful split team has the same approach. It's pretty much like maybe you have a fast open ropes that you really like to do. Maybe you have like a control kind of pressure like the way that you did here, where you smoke plus dog into ropes. But most teams just, none of these jiggles for info feel good. None of them do. They all feel terrible. When you're like angling out, when you're angling this player out, it's kind of awkward, right? Because if you go wide here, then it's really easy to die from somebody that's angling out from this side. just slowly, because you have crazy angle disadvantage. And then same thing here. If you want to get deep info, you just kind of die to a guy that's angling you out here. And then same thing for top B. It's like the exact same idea. This is also just terrible. It all feels so bad. So I think contacting until the orb goes up is correct. And then having like a fast open in your playbook, I think is good to punish somebody. If you know that he's been playing here a lot, you have a way to like basically pop on him. But I think that outside of that, I mean, the dog control I think is okay too. But I think if you're ever like two people bottom mid, just throwing util, it's not really going to be that good. It's not going to put enough pressure, I think.
Shadows traveling.
30 seconds left.
But I think this round was pretty good. I'd just be really, really worried about a spawn guy getting value there. Because there's a real world, because you guys push super, super aggro into the deep space, that you guys get kind of rinsed by a spawn player. It might sound kind of crazy, but like how I see this fight usually play out is that like you wouldn't actually often see like 3 people hard forcing this lane. Because if there is any world where there's a spawn player still, you guys are kind of like putting yourself in the worst fight possible. Let me see here. Effie's is here. Nature's here. Wait, Nature got sub. Wait, how did Nature get a sub? Wait, hold on. You got lucky, bro? Please lock in is actually funny, bro. Anyway, I think it is risky. It is risky doing this kind of scaling where you're like hard wrapping as like a full group, but it can pay out for sure. I think it's more consistent almost to like literally just play to hold. And then these guys will eventually get so antsy that they'll eventually peak. I think at Santiago, you'd see a lot of this where everybody's just facing in this area together, refusing to W key. And then you just like kind of walk around.
30 seconds left.
Pretty good result though. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. 4v2.
One enemy remaining. Take it out.
Jesus. I'm always lurking, bro. Actually. W Nick. That's my man's. Okay, anti-eco again. Omen pressing TP just to even fake it. From a defense POV here, I think is pretty good. Like if Anderson faked his TP, even if it's on eco, the fact that like Sage is annoyed by that, you know what I mean? Sage is just perma annoyed if Omen just does that, because it's like there is still a world technically that somebody could be, you know, in the corner. Puts a little bit more pressure on the person to actually go clear it. I think that's one thing that I'm not seeing enough against Sage specifically. Okay. Okay, I will say personal opinion again. My philosophy, just to reiterate from the other anti-eco, my philosophy is always it has to solve one of the problems we talked about. The 5B push, 5 mid walk, or 4, you know what I mean? Like 4 or 5 B walk, 4 or 5 on each push. It has to solve that within your setup, or it has to solve like the silent stack And then like whenever a team does what Ku's doing here, where they're literally just playing a standard default round with classics, which I think is objectively pretty troll, then like you can kind of do anything, to be honest. So like here, playing the macro in a way that like you're like putting some mid pressure, you pretty much find out there's no one mid. But the types of fights you're gonna get and understand like what the enemy setup is, I think is gonna be worse overall if you don't dog either B main or not B main, B site or A site. I kind of like the first round strat. Push up ramp. All of these contact fights are pretty comfy outside of maybe like super close ramp and maybe super close here. But the solution of like molly here, take these long range fights, like bro, this is so comfy. You just have a good hold. Have a good holding position here. Maybe have Waylay getting ready to saturate this at any time. Or you could have, if there's no saturate, Omen holds blind from the ramp. If a fight comes through, insta blind, Waylay's chilling, holding close contact. This is so comfy. Whenever you go ramp on an Antico, so comfy. Getting close to the wall, I think, is so fucking terrifying. Man, if you're playing against a really, really, really good team here, I feel like you can get absolutely blendered. I think like my team as an example, in 24, we did so many ramp refights. Being super like just moving a lot during this wall is going to get you flash. Flash comes through, net comes deep, maybe stun comes close, and then you just kind of get owned by util. Spooky. I would stay far away from the wall. And then I would dog through lower. I think that's probably the best approach. Just taking on a lot of risk in the way that the macro played out this round. Holy fuck. We took 18 damage.
10 seconds left.
Classic 5 ramp Antico. I do like ramp. I really like ramp on Antico.
One enemy remaining.
I mean, we were like the A Siege team when we played Split. We were like one of the early adopters of Sage. We would just always do that wall that goes through the fucking like ramp into ropes. So OP. Bon Bao. Fucking everybody's here. This is an off day for you guys. Hold on. We got some scrimmers in here. Wait, is it only 100 T scrimming? What up at the end of the day? Starting now is when shit gets wicked. Good luck. Oh, fuck. I mean, things have been okay so far. Pretty good. Pretty good so far. This is when it gets wicked, huh? Yeah. 5A. Fuck. Okay. Sequencing wise and timings of this exec. I think your first smoke has to benefit the duelist entry for sure. Like pretty much whenever you create a strat, it has to like kind of basically have like the util, yeah, util and landing spot as like the key most important detail. So the flash clears out any close angle like hell. But it doesn't really get anything on site. It maybe gets the crack. Maybe it gets the crack on site. think it does get the crack. It gets specifically like here, and it gets hell. And anybody that's just in the open. Dash goes to default. Full exposed, obviously. Kind of goes without saying. Okay, so this round could be completely different just off of the sequencing of the smokes. Sarah got stunned here. Do they show this back? Hopefully. Man, this is so awkward as well. Entry could go better, obviously. Enemy Viper wall is up, so our Viper gets no value. Here I'm so curious how Sarah gets stunned. Sarah should know about this trip. Does Sarah get stunned or does Sarah break the trip? Do not pause this VOD. What up, Crashies? Holy fuck, bro.
Down A. Last player standing.
I'm not gonna lie, like this VOD review is probably gonna take me like hours. I'm so interested.
Spike down A. Spike down A. Last player standing.
Dude, I swear they missed so many. Sounds like a bonkard TikTok. Do not. Bro, I'm the do not guy. Hold on. Wait a fucking second here.
My ultimate is ready.
Wait a fucking second here. That was actually Peepa bonkard TikTok. Never mind. It's all good. I was about to have a cortisol spike.
Spike down.
All right. We'll move past this, bro. We'll move past this.
Toxins going up.
I like the noise cut from Noya.
Toxin screen down.
Walk around, OP. Everybody has to respect the gaps. Classic.
30 seconds left.
Actual.
Toxin
Oh.
screen down.
Holy shit. Nice try. I mean, that's the benefit of literally just walking around when you're down numbers. If it's ever low numbers like 2v2, 3v3, there's so many gaps on the map that everybody always has to respect. If you walk around, it's just infinitely better than making noise. But still, I'm not gonna lie, in tier 2 and tier 1, we still see people not walking around only. Somehow people still make noise. I'm so curious about something. Melda, have you guys tested just the timing if enemy Omen just TPs across, like, and you also TP across? Isn't this like not favored for you? It looks really fucking close, I won't lie. It looks so close. I'm so worried. And I think specifically because you're playing against a Neon too, if they catch on to the fact that you're doing this, like, and it's so many rounds, like, don't you also just get slide peeked low key? Like, I think if I was anteing you guys, I would definitely be like, I'm not gonna lie, like, low key, you catch like a one-off round. Catch a one-off round, you just insta slide peek, predicting the TP. It's actually fire, by the way, that they changed Omen. The fact that they changed Omen so that you don't give an audio cue when you smoke is actually very nice. Because right here, in the past, you would never be able to play a spot like this on Omen. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Did you stand? Is that why? You said do not stand up at this box. I actually had a TikTok specifically about this box. It is good. It is good. The perma crouch. Yeah, unfortunately, you just actually get walked up on.
My ult's ready.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of just have to give props to Pigeon.
Spike down mid.
So walk re-clear, aggressive position. I mean, it's like, okay. I would say the only reason why you don't have to be here is because you'll never really get blind value, but that's also like kind of hindsight because you just got re-walked like through the B main choke. So it's like, is that usually something that happens? Not really. So do I care? Not really. Is what it is.
Spike down mid. Last player standing.
I will say, okay, to go on a little bit of a different tangent, I will say one really common thing that we've been punished by a lot is if a team starts with early B main, especially like, okay, in this case, you smoked across. So like your intention is kind of sold here a little bit, but when you go back into B main or when you go back into mid, I think it was Valen that would do it. Valen would re-walk on the timing that we were about to do our mid default. So like the timing that you are kind of getting told to smoke is the timing that they would look to abuse. I think that is like a pretty decently common option for sure. Just noticed something in mid too. Jump across mid is good. What's the purpose of this flash? I'm not gonna lie, contacting is too OP, bro. This flash baited the Viper Orb, and that's about it. You found out that there's nobody male, but you don't really get value off of it. I think when you're playing solo initiator, you kind of like have to get value off your util. Like it's like you're forced to get really good value. Spending like one flash to just get a ping inside of male doesn't really feel good enough. I think contact, give yourself an opportunity to get a kill in ropes. If you're worried about people being down mid, you already did the jump spot to like kind of clear it. Slow contact up without audio is probably way better. Because like imagine the world instead, right? What kind of fights do you want to take? You'd rather take this fight contacting into a guy that's jiggling, right? Same thing here. You'd rather like take a good fight on a guy that's like contact jiggling rather than like early warning sign, hey, we're going to come take mid. And then here as well, jump spotting to like see if what somebody's like here. It's like not really that real. Alongside with like, this is low key part of the reason you get cleared because there's so much early tells like, hey, we're about to take mid, guys. Why do you pronounce Valen like that? Is it Valen? Valen? I don't know. Scared of judge mid? Where can the judge be? That would be scary. I don't think so. I think the way that you guys do the mid default from the minimap, you could just solve it with your gun. You guys could definitely solve it with your gun, make less audio. All of these fights are favored. If you're worried about an op, then I could see why you would add util, but even like the sky flash isn't going to do that much against the op. And you're letting this guy pop his orb for free. Which if I was Viper, I would want an early tell like that to be able to pop my orb for free. I like that we're waiting out the orb.
Gotta go. My ult's ready.
Waiting out the orb. We go through the orb anyway. Okay.
Spike down mid.
Okay, this is the angle where the judge is scary. Remember Motto would insta fake, run up as Neon to bait the orb and sometimes Molly? Yeah, I mean, I think that's okay. I just think like when you're thinking about like what kind of fights you want to take on the map, you don't really want to take a fight while the orb is up, right? That feels fucking impossible. Every time you come into this concave in mid, when you come into this space in mid, you have to take these fights. It's like it doesn't really feel that possible unless you add a bunch of utility. And your util is like perfect, like especially when this orb is up. But bro, like, do you know how many times I think I could win this fight consistently. I think even if I was in the server, I think I could kill a guy that's jiggling like pretty consistently. And then here, like, it's just such a one-sided affair because nobody's gonna be just holding here, and nobody's just gonna be sitting here holding here. These guys are like not really even in the mindset of like taking a fight. They're like more so in the mindset of like, I'm going to spot someone, I'm going to pop my orb, and then the round goes on. Anyway, this round definitely falls apart like crazy, but I do think that those kinds of details kind of tease up like the types of fights you get in the round. So like they low-key know that you're going mid, which is why they probably pivot into a B reclear. No, it looks like they were going to B reclear regardless. But I think a lot of teams would hear early tells in mid and be like, okay, they're gonna take the B heaven space. We're gonna take B main space instead. Anyway, moving on. Do you guys like this wall or do you like the other wall? I've been low-key liking the other wall that makes it so you can also go into A main. The only reason why I like it though is just because like this guy that's off-angled ramp gets kind of annoyed by it. Feels like he doesn't actually have the line. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like the wall doesn't go like this, it goes more like this. Maybe it's like a little bit more like this. You just have to aim it like somewhere over here instead. Saw that wall a lot at Santiago. Oh, fuck. Dodo popped refract mid dash. Man, a molly on lower would be perfect in a round like this. It's okay. Eke around. All good. Wait, what? What the fuck? Hold on. Hold the fucking phone.
Look at that.
What the fuck happened this round? Bro, I thought this round was over. Double peek heard. Whoa. Didn't even know you could do that in the dash. Yeah, you can. High key, Ku gave away so much audio here. Made it so easy to play. They haven't seen Mel. That's why they're still holding all these gaps. Mel smokes the cross, creates more gaps. Sky ult obviously gonna bail them out a bit here. This timing is fucking scary.
Standing.
Good trades.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
I mean, this is just a 50-50. This is just a 50-50. Go A, go
30
B.
seconds left.
Low time. Low time goes through ramp. I actually like that. Let's try. I like the idea to go ramp. Make him feel like probably missing out. That you've probably gone B. Makes sense to me. It's fine. It's kind of troll to say. Thought my audio on deathcam would have had him rotate. I see. Might be kind of random to say, but I always said that in any of those 1v1 scenarios, cross mapping, I feel like works majority of the time because people always try to fight the enemy that they know. Like if you're the attacker. So like Deadlock knows that you were here. I think Deadlock is way less likely to try to read you. But it's also always going to be kind of like hindsight 50-50, right? Like, but I think cross mapping is actually like, if I had to guess based on like my pattern recognition, like it's probably like 80% of the time the player stays at the site where they knew that the player was. It's like so often. I think that cross mapping is so good. Because the situation is too, if you do get a plant off and they're like coming back from spawn, this scenario feels unwinnable. Like genuinely feels unwinnable. Because then you're like, I have to clear heaven. I could have got timing on the wrap. It could just be B main. Could be somewhere on site. And you can choose any option, and it's going to be a good option, realistically. All right, let's go back. I'm trying to find... Yeah, this is bad. Like, real bad. Yeah. I was trying to find a way to create value here. I won't lie. I do think that some strats are just objectively not great. Trying to find a way... trying to find a way to accomplish what you guys want to accomplish here. I guarantee, though, what happens in scrims, it's a res play for what it's worth. That makes sense. I see that angle. I see that angle. I will say, I think... detail-wise, this could be pretty sick. This could be done in a better way. Because the flash doesn't need to go this deep. The flash timing can definitely be better. Because the goal, realistically, is to do what? Like, mostly just take a duel. Mostly take a duel so that your body falls back, and then you get res. But the flash position and timing doesn't really make sense with the idea of the play. Yeah. Audible judgment is welcome. Nah, it's like I'm just trying to see what the angle is too. Cause it's like, to be honest, like whenever I've ever seen an Omen TP up here, the idea is more so like we're doing a fast open. We're doing a fast open where like our guy is, you know, dashing here on top of this box, or even like going here. There's just usually some sort of fast open that's aligned with this. So when the orb comes up, you're like killing people in this gap. I've never seen an Omen taking first on this kind of play. So I was trying to understand the value. Is a flash behind Omen and above troll? I think that that could be a bit better. I think that could be a bit better. Because you know, like when Omen's TPing initially, you actually don't, you can't kill the Omen. Like the very, very beginning. So you could have Sky start on this side. Sky could start here and do a more accurate flash specifically for the Omen to do this. It'd be more of a pop flash. And you'd be basically just looking to catch anybody that's doing a mid walk. Probably a little bit more accurate. But I mean, what probably happens in scrims, if we're being completely honest, is like they fight against one guy that's just jiggling ropes as per usual. One guy that's jiggling ropes as per usual. Mel doesn't even end up getting a duel. The orb goes up, and then maybe they didn't really realize what's going on with the Omen TP, and they walk lazy into the angle. That's probably what ends up happening. Oh yeah, I didn't even read what Mel said in chat. But that's exactly what I was saying. Okay, anyway, 3v4, no noise is good. Contact around when it's low numbers. Like, it's actually crazy how this isn't like a consistent thing I see among teams, but they're doing it well. Just literally don't make any noise, down numbers. Like, look, there's still 2 people holding mid, still 1 person holding B, and now Deadlock has a problem where Deadlock has to hold ramp and main, and that's why Deadlock gets picked. And there's a real world where this is a 1-for-0 trade. Like, look at the timings, right? Look at the timings. Walk around glitch is OP. Also, yeah, Sage starting on the other side is also beneficial for the res, so you don't have to like take the risk on cross.
Welcome to my world.
Ult use here. Plant inside the ult. 2v2 situation.
Spike planted.
If this is a round that we lose,
Last player.
okay.
Standing. One enemy remaining.
No. Oh my fucking god. That is terrifying, by the way.
Poison orb emitting.
That is fucking terrifying. Okay. There's a lot to break down in this 2v2, I won't lie. I could definitely see a long discussion coming out of this round. The Viper just needs to not fight alone. Heaven after spotting them. Bro, this is so funny. I could really see this going like... This is such like a gray area kind of discussion, I think. Because like, here's the thing, right? Dropping the ult, pushing Heaven. I will say this is a very inconsistent play. Extremely inconsistent. For the reason that the bomb is not planted for you whatsoever. If the bomb was planted, you know, like kind of in one of those spots that we talked about in our video, like here is an example. So like you can still kind of peek it from Rafter. I think this play more than likely actually does work. And the decision here to kill one, keep swinging, I think is another one. 3-hour round talk with no fix GG. I mean, I just think because it's not planted for Noya, it's pretty hard to make this play be a consistent play. There's so many ways this can go wrong accidentally off timing. I think probably the most... did they know both players at this point? Let me see. Kill one in the ult. We know one is either going heaven or screens. You hear the Viper going full noise heaven. That's why Noya takes timing. So Noya knows that Noya has timing. Because the enemy is making so much audio, is this not a fine play? I would actually high key kind of like lean into this could be like actually a pretty good play. But only because the enemy is making so much audio. I would say that Noya's biggest mistake is staying on the angle here. I think the second mistake here is because there's so much audio, the second mistake here is that Alexis doesn't take timing to come close here to play off the teammate. There's multiple things, right? First, the decision to leave the Viper ult is like argument number one. I think that personally, I would not want to do this. The second decision is like, how do people play once the Viper ult decision's already been made? Noya looks for the first into the second kill. The first kill happened if, I'll say this, if the second player is close to Zamal and you insta-swing and try to kill the second before Koof can react, then I think it's valid to keep fighting. But because Koof is far spacing from his teammate, you have to tuck. And I think that Alexis needs to play close to where the Viper is going to take the fight. Alexis has perfect info here. Remember, spam. Other players also shooting while falling off of heaven. I think if Alexis isn't like pushing into this angle to try to play off of like Viper, I think it's like slightly worse because these guys would end up in a high-low here, but maybe it's because the ult's dropping. Alexis doesn't want to do that. Fuck, that's so fucked. What a fucked up round. This is really the type of round that you could sit there and argue for like actually hours. I think the other thing here from Alexis's POV, something that really, really intelligent clutch players do, like really, really intelligent clutch players, whenever they're in a wrap situation like this, I think it's a little bit more accurate for Alexis to actually back up into screens. If you kill the wrap here and like make it so the enemy thinks that you're perma being wrapped and then you're just holding from here, one, it makes the fight easier for you. And the enemy just visualizes you like perma taking timings. You know, it's like, fuck, like, could be on my left, could be on my right. And then by the time that they peek the angle, you're just like actually pre-aimed only for them. It's exactly what I was thinking here because high key Alexis has time to back up here, knowing exactly where Viper is. Get yourself out of the wrap. Hold the one side of the wrap that would actually clear you, and you'll have a good fight. They have a shit fight. And then here you'd have a much safer dog position. If you get angled out here, like Alexis is literally one step away from dying. Anyways, next round. Actually, hold on. Give me a second here. Am I blind? Oh, here we go. Okay, back into it. Oh shit, we're back. Fuck, you guys are fast. Mel, you got moves like that? Damn. That shit looks nice. Little bit of ice skating.
Cover going out.
Okay. Okay, I'll be extremely critical. I'll be extremely critical. I think that if you've used a bunch of utility and you haven't actually gotten to take the space, you kind of see where my mindset is already from like the past rounds. I think this duel is really, really favored. If you're worried about people walking down mid and you want to add utility, I completely understand that. I think that this jump across usually is good enough to spot this timing. But I do think that, like, bro, like, contacting these angles is so broken. Like, just so broken. And if we were already down one flash in a single initiator comp, and then now we are going to take the space, if they just re-smoked Mollied, aren't you guys kind of cooked? Now you're at 0 flashes until 40. If they stalled this one timing. Obviously, enemy team doesn't really do that. If the team like hard gives mid like this, then obviously you would have spent 0 util full contacting it. Holy shit. You guys can silent drop that? Man, this audio, yeah, this VOD is actually good. This VOD is really good. This VOD is really good. Okay, a little bit of a freeze. Pretty unlosable hold, to be honest. We're going into a wall. Okay. I think my takeaway in this round would be, it's the observer lagging out? Yeah. Take B reclear with dog into contact A split. Yay or nay call. I think the call's fine. I think the call's fine. It comes down more to like the micro in the round. You're like hearing this neon jump around, bunny hopping, clearing the angle. So you're trying to push them off. This makes sense to me. And it makes sense too that your ramp players or your rope players have to take an early timing. Because I'm not going to lie, if I see an Omen blind hit my B main, I'm definitely not thinking that you're going B main. I think you're intentionally trying to push me off the line. Or that you're trying to like disengage. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what's going on, but... Oh wait, the deadlock wall is still alive on A? Yeah, what I was going to say was, I think in terms of this 3v2 situation toward A, you have to have your Viper breaking this deadlock wall to bait the attention of the sky. I think if that doesn't happen and this peak happens alone, this is just impossible to win contact. Like actually impossible to win. Every single angle trying to contact out here is just impossible. Literally impossible.
What a way to die. Toxins going up. 30 seconds left.
Shadows traveling.
Raptors traded. 2v3. Whoa, he actually committed into sight. Ballsy. Ballsy from Anderson. 2v2.
10 seconds left.
Ballsy plant. Jesus.
Last player standing. Spike planted. One enemy remaining. 10 seconds left.
What up, Nash? 15 stream streak? Damn, bro. I feel like a jump clear with the wall staying up is good, even if it gives up some information. I actually disagree hard.
10 seconds.
Giving audio is just fucked.
10 seconds left.
You give audio there, you get deadlock netted. It's not good. Really not good. And you're only really saying that because you see this guy on your X-ray, like, standing here. I'd say it's pretty uncommon for players to be in this, like, zone in the majority of rounds. That's probably why their micro isn't good here. Because generally you would expect to see, if you lost mid, the player will react by going here and here. Or, you know, one guy in sight, one guy deep heaven. They probably majority of the time get away with doing this, to be honest. But what really has to happen here is generally what you would do is you would pop both of your pieces of util, and the Viper would be really aggro here so that you could crunch this space. But because the deadlock wall is here, like, the deadlock wall has to be getting shot when they take this timing through ropes. That's the only way to somewhat bait the attention of Sky. And to fix the angle advantage, yeah, it's just hard. It's just hard. You'd have to go wide on the angle and just take the duel, but realistically, that's also like a fair risk, right? You'd almost want the first person to like solo contact it so the second person could just late trade based on how bad that angle advantage is. Like imagine if Sky kills one here and doesn't see an instant second player, Sky will eventually look here, and then that's when you would trade. Like, that's how bad the angle is. It would be better to literally late trade. Okay. So a lot of the B main conditioning being used now. TP committed. Sage flow used. Playing against deadlock, 50-50ing and like straight calling a slam. Definitely imposes some risk, but I think it is good to have it as an aspect of your play. Pretty important. Okay. Okay. It's always going to be hard here. It's always going to be hard here. But what I will say, detail-wise, is very important. Very, 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 very important. Whenever you watch a B pop, smoke on the choke, okay? We need to have the majority of the people here if we want to make this B pop work. And it needs to be full silent, and then everything happens at once. Obviously, in this case, there's a sensor here, so we might get rinsed. But we're already taking the risk in the round that we're going to pop out B. So, like, how come everyone isn't kind of, like, with the same visualization in mind? Also, small detail thing, but you guys can kind of see. The sensor goes like this, and this is the smoke. So, technically speaking, if we had walked into this part of the smoke, we would know that deadlock's here. We would know that deadlock's here and we would go through. Or we would not go through. We'd probably slow down, break the deadlock sensor, or say cancel, something. More than likely. The other detail here, the sky flash isn't really going out same time, right? There's a lot of like things that are off on the timings here. Crazy amount of things. Step happens inside the smoke that stuns Waylay. I'm pretty sure this may be... You can hear the sensors, yeah. You can if you're walking around. Another small detail here. I would have to test this in a server, but I'm pretty sure when we were doing it yesterday, Waylay, it's very hard. I'll say right now, it is very hard, extremely hard to do, but you can flick your mouse mid-dash to clear angles. You can flick your mouse left to clear the angle while you entry. It is extremely hard on Waylay compared to that of Jet. Because Jet, you could literally just dash sideways if you really want to clear an angle. But I would like to see this whole sequence that we just talked about. Smoke, get into this part of the smoke with our whole team. We see a sensor, we make a decision. Are we going to break it? Are we going to break the sensor? Are we going to chill? Are we going to wait for our smoke to fade so we can break the sensor, then go? Are we just going to pop anyway? And then here, like, it should be flash, blind if we're going to use blind. And then the dash landing spot, once again, needs to make sense based on what the util is being thrown. Like, the util that's being thrown. The other thing to add here, too, is consideration of alts, right? We could get alts involved in this round if we just got our Waylay alt. Is this a hero rifle round or no? No, this is actually a full gun round, pretty much. This is like a force buy. We need to have a Waylay alt strat for sure. Is a Waylay alt strat maybe post plant? Maybe. But I think that's really risky. Having a Waylay alt strat as like a post plant, like maybe their idea, their intention in the round, if they want to get value, is to like Waylay wins the entry, which I think already is pretty risky. And then Waylay gets to tuck back here, maybe do like a full on CT alt or something. They run it down. I have no idea. There's a lot of ideas that we could come up with though, for sure. This doesn't reach all the way back. Probably do something like this. And then all the fights you have to take are going to be like in this box. Seemed like we were already doing a yeah, I mean, if you really want to do it, I mean, this is going to bring more stall util, obviously. Other people will have to entry other than your Waylay. But there has to be intention to use the Waylay alt here for sure. This is a very important round. You can get 2 rounds off of this round, but if you lose, well, I guess you don't guarantee 2 rounds, but you lose 2 rounds if you don't win this round. You know what I mean? What up, Chummy? Thanks for the sub, bro. Okay, let's see how it goes. So Waylay dashes in, dies to the guy's shroud. Flash comes in. Flash mechanically, I think, needs to be a pop flash. The first one going around the left wall, I think, is good. The first flash coming around this left wall over here is good to get the player that's at default. The flash going out the right side of the wall here, instead of pop flashing the smoke, I think is not good. It gives too much time for people to react. Too much time. Let's just get in the server, bro. I like being in the server anyway. It's like cozy. I can give like instant examples of what I mean. Curving the flash just adds reaction time, and you're not gaining any angle, any additional angle being flashed. In fact, you're limiting the amount of angles that are being flashed when you do that curve. You don't need to invest a Waylay alt. You don't need to. When you're against a deadlock, sometimes it's just better to actually like full send it, right? You don't want to give away a free timing for them to use net. You don't want them to be like ready. I would like to see though that all 4 of them get into this side of the smoke. They hear the sensor, they cancel. If there's no sensor, then it's just like insta pop flash. Then you guys scale together. Flash player says 3, 2, 1, pop, and then go through. When you do this flash, from this guy's POV, he just sees like, you know, becomes like so much easier to turn. infinite easier to turn. You have to figure too, based on where Alexis is standing, Anderson can actually hear this flash the whole time. So to get rid of the fact that you can hear the bird while it's traveling, that's why getting close to the smoke is good. Pop flashing through, you get less time to punish individually, but you get more time overall. You get to flash this player more often than not. I think that Anderson, if he was extremely locked in here, would turn that flash. I think, okay. Mel gets a kill. Blinds looks for punish. I think this is really good. And then I think it's like a chase after. Like this is a chase. The attention's fully on her. I think the best thing that Mel can do is kind of like either back up into pillar, because now you have space, right? You just blinded off the Heaven guy. Heaven guy can't play. Nobody's near mesh. You probably would have heard audio. You'd probably just hold tight mesh and walk back to pillar and then play with your team that way. It's way too hard to take this duel. Juggle them until teammate comes. I think it's too hard to fight from the same angle here, because even if your teammate comes, you're like forcing your team into kind of like a 90 degree. The neon will flood at some point like this. And if your teammates came like this to try to fight with you into spawn, you're like forcing this kind of like 90 degree fight. If you go this way and like just back up, you're only taking like front to back fights. It's super, super clean.
That was their best, not impressed.
Who was the other team that we were watching do this? I think it was it Evictix? I think Traded was also doing kind of a similar thing where it's like you're forcing yourself into fights. Like you're like running into their territory, trying to force fights when like you're going to get 90 degree angled. Whereas you could just chill, hold, and those players are going to like eventually freak the fuck out. This split space, like let's be honest for a second, just as a visualization moment, is anybody just staying here forever? They'll probably angle it out, like peek on timing this side, peek on timing this side, but they're not really going to stay here forever, just full tucked and not doing anything. They'll eventually be worried about the 50-50 and choose a side. So like as much as you want to like sprint it down and clear out those players, it's like actually much harder to do that than just taking good fights. You end up in so many worse fight situations if you try to do that. Man, this VOD is actually crazy good. See what the Skybird is doing here? It slows down. Yeah, this is a lot of the same stuff. It's like, from enemy perspective right now, like if you were to put yourself in their shoes, you just hear, okay, Sky Sage is mid. That eliminates the idea of a B pop in their mind. That's why they're not at all worried about B. It's kind of eliminated the thought of like an A hit as well. Obviously, we can't really tell. We can't really tell what's going on here. We can assume, though, that the dog was used. Okay, we basically have a 4-spy. 1 Guardian, 1 Bulldog. So we fully prepared the enemy for us going up mid to B. Smoke comes in. Now we're pressuring the cross to A again. Ult is used by Sky at screens. That's crazy. That can't be a good ult. That cannot be a good ult. No. Nope. That can't be a good ult. Nope. Where's the Viper Orb? Right there. Won't lie. If I was Pigeon's coach, I would be saying that you guys just let them do whatever they want in in mid, even though like you can just completely fuck all of their util. Like if I saw a team was burning all of their util bottom mid, like slow orb early, flash used without like actually getting any space here, I would be thinking, bro, like if you're not denying mid and just burning all their util out, you're like objectively trolling. Because here, imagine like, why does an orb not go up and this timing just doesn't get denied? I actually don't get it. I don't get it. Unless it is, and it's just so extremely bugged. It's so hard to tell what the fuck is going on. FOD is so crazy, bro. Okay, alt goes where? Alt goes into A ramp, I think. Dude, like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? Okay, 5v3.
There.
Cover going out.
Like Dodo's instinct. Instigate inside the smoke. Right side. Ready to pivot. Perfect. So Alexis plans for A main. I mean, I've said this a lot, obviously, from my TikTok too. Planning like out a bit more is just a slight bit more accurate, especially when you have someone that's going for a late lurk. The fact that they can still kill the bomb diffuser from Rafter helps their individual clutch so much. I'm surprised to not see Alexis spotting here. Just to see when they come out. Dodo can kind of like peek for free off of that. Seems like the off angle is here. Even if the off angle is here, like I'm kind of curious why Alexis isn't like super close to the wall, ready to kill somebody that's like W keying. When you W key this line, it feels so fucking bad. Like it feels like you can get peeked on timing anytime, you just die. And you can't get contacted out because Dodo has the off angle.
Cover going out.
Good instinct from Dodo. Would once again like to see Alexis step up over here and then like basically gain that info. Being on this side is a good pivot into this part of the fight though. So it's like pros and cons kind of. Okay, surely we convert this. Nice. What up, Dre? What up, Skynar? This guy just came into my chat and first messaged Unk. That's kind of a bannable offense, no? Perseus? Hey Zix, thanks for all the content you're making. It's been insanely helpful, and it's probably the first time it's coming directly from a T1 coach. Appreciate it, bro. You banned him for speaking the truth. Alright, let's see. Let's see defense ideas. Sage jump spot. Hopefully it's being done silently. Hopefully the Sage jump spot is being done silently. Hopefully the Sage jump spot's being done silently. If this is not being done silently, that's a fucking problem. I'll be the one to say it. That's like a big fucking problem. Another team that's not doing the deeper wall. You guys see how easy it is to play from this angle and get a freebie? more often than not, you get like actually a freebie from this angle. If that wall exists where they can go into A, you're at least like not as confident in leaving one person on that angle. You'll have to always have two here. Goddamn, I played 2 ranked games and he's halfway through map 1. Yeah, I like to be in depth, bro. I like to be in depth. Peeking for more is so bad, he said. The problem is, well, where I do agree is that I do think peeking for more is pretty bad. I think that because Dodo's fully alone, it's pretty fucked. There's no dash here when we're playing cross. You can tuck and Sky should come to help. That's where I think the defense is kind of failing here for sure. Feels like everybody is just playing ones. B players are obviously not playing ones, but... Bro, there's no way that Alexis literally held ropes the entire round. Got baited by the attention of the fight. You can just stun preemptively or ask for a smoke. I do agree, by the way, Dre. I do completely agree. Yeah, in this situation, there are a lot of options to help support your teammate here. Sky can come, Sky can flash. Sky honestly probably already should have been playing over here. And asking for a smoke, I think, is pretty valid as well. Secure your trade. The saturate probably isn't going to do a lot for you unless you literally hear them both running up. Just because, like, you're not going to, like, fucking saturate, like, all of that. And, like, you can say timing here, too. But I think, like, the thing you have to realize, though, like, there's no reason for Alexis to really be even thinking about a fight over there. You know what I mean? I think that a lot of this comes down to defense setups and how the individuals played off of one another. Probably, like, the most important concept. Actually, do I even want to get into it? There's a lot of rounds here where just people are kind of like peeking when they have full aggro again. And it's making the round like almost impossible for them.
Cover going out.
Silent is good. Just walking around. They actually end up killing Cuz for free. Bro, this VOD is actually so fire. They actually got 2 freebies off of just not making noise. Time is pretty fucked though. It's already over. They would have had to basically wall and stick it.
Deployed.
They had a 4-man high-low. I actually like that. Kill the scout. I will say the thing that's hard about scouts is if you have a 4-man high-low and you kill the scout, then they're just going to get B-site for free. It's kind of what they want low-key. Against a team that scouts, it's almost better to have like little 2-man teams that try to like kill the scout early. Or like a 1-man like person that just takes the duel on the scout. The one thing I think is kind of readable on this map, low-key, the scout is almost always going to be the Viper. So having like a Skydog early and then like a Waylay run him down, kind of valid. Kind of valid on the or on the eco round. And then you just have the rest stack B run back. You think Vice lock any good in this meta?
Spike
Like
planted.
both?
I'm out of here.
If you really want to cheese a team out, yeah, you could definitely play both.
Enemy remaining.
Some of these comps are like extremely punishable by Vice and Deadlock. So having 2 on your comp just basically means they can't play the game the same way they want to play it. Split could be a map that's like that. Because you actually high-key have to add util whenever you go out any of the chokes on Split. Like B, you have to add util. A, going out main, majority of situations you have to add util. It's too one-dimensional. I actually
I have to
don't
back.
fully agree. I think on attack you can actually play pretty slow. You can do things like throwing Deadlock net B main every round to like get control of B main pretty consistently. There's a lot of ideas that could work. I think that just Vice on attack is just fucking ass. Like, literally so ass. It's like pretty much you have to pray that you get bomb sites because you can play post for free. Your post will be pretty good with like Deadlock sensors, Vice thorns, this kind of stuff, but Zamala is just reading in this round that there's nobody in ropes. Is that off of what's happening toward A? Does Koof get a kill through a gap here, or is this a spam? Koof takes timing through the orb, or through the smoke as well? How has that happened? We didn't even see any of that. Would you even remove for Vice as well? Yeah. No, I mean, you're not wrong. Specific for this map. Nah, Viper is too OP. Viper is definitely too OP. Vice Deadlock. What other maps could that even work on? All the other maps feel like it's too easy to contact.
Headshot.
Oh, fuck.
Seek them out.
We're about to get bonus, huh? I don't know what the interaction was like on A.
Not down.
I feel like Viper's too good in the current meta, bro. If I'm being completely honest, I think Viper's way too good. Some of these maps, Viper's just so broken. Considering that they removed a lot of util in the game, like Viper being able to wall so many times in a round at any timing for a pretty long amount of time throughout the entirety of the round, it's just fucked. It's just too fucked. Is this a fast open? He's like pre-smoking male.
Shadows traveling.
Insta mid walk. I like that there's intention from SRG in every single one of their ecos so far. I do think that mid walk is probably the hardest one. Most teams are. See, I like Mel's play here. Probably the most. This smoke plus walk up, throw a flash, I think is the most accurate like 5-man push you can do, if not A. All of the angles that people try to hold for B main, they really love doing this high-low, and this is insanely vulnerable to a pop flash. Imagine this high-low, people getting this part of the smoke, or this part of the smoke, and then a pop flash lands here, insta, everybody peeks. Both of these players are getting owned. I think the mid-walk crossfire is too hard to deal with. Mel actually gets an opportunity here, even against a high-low.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
I didn't know you could jump from that side. Yeah, there's like, you can see it here. You can jump on this small box here. There's like a small little like lip like this. You can jump on that. Googly timeout. I mean, what can we even really talk about in the timeout, bro? First gun round, they just walk through the A smoke. Either got a spam kill or a kill through a gap. This is what I visualize or standard to be something like this. Sage able to slow mid, Sage able to slow B. Nice. This is around the usual timing Vipers will take their aggro lurk. Like 120, 115. Option to TP out. Broke dog. Scared about getting ran down. Blind used. I mean, pretty fucking solid, honestly. Good decision making. Surprised nobody heard this TP. Just a few things I'm surprised about here. It's like very low key, like extremely low key, but they didn't hear the TP. Then Noya's running around in heaven, which kind of gives away exactly where Noya's positioned, which kind of gets Dodo killed. Isn't that kind of funny? Anderson only takes timing through the smoke because he hears Noya sprinting across heaven. And it feels like he has a timing that they don't know that he's there, because why else would they be running around the smoke, right? So he takes timing and actually kills somebody that he didn't intend to kill. Still a 4v3. Oh, fuck. I've got a lot of problems here, I won't lie. I've got a lot of problems in this 4v3. Sky ult is used before we have any space, which is fine. Helps us get the space. Mel does a solo peek when this could be 3-2-1. That's... Also, we're still like searching for lurks. Like there's people that are missing, which is fine. But like how retakes should feel, realistically, right? Is like... You're in a space, you're all chilling, you 3-2-1 together, and then everything, like all the util starts activating. It feels like they could do more to corral and get like in good positions before they start dumping all this util. And the Sky util tells them exactly where people are. So your util should be guaranteed value. Low-key Melt should be dead, yeah, for sure. So a lot of this util is like completely wasted almost. Slow and Molly is doing the exact same job. Both Noya and Sarah peaked with util out. High key. Dog is clearing out the site player. Smoke is already doing the job that the blind did as well. The way that this should look is like wall up. We all chill. We all chill. I don't know when we pop wall initially. We should chill. We should be chilling here. Don't wall. Don't do anything. This wall should not be this wall should not be tapped. We should all be chilling. Sky's breaking deadlock wall. This wall should not be up. Walls popped here with Sky ult. We walk around while the Sky ult finds people for us. Wall is popped so that we can actually start taking space. And then we're util dumping where the Sky ult is getting value. That is how this looks the most clean. The wall being popped early kind of ruins a lot of this retake and makes it way more chaotic. We basically have no space. Retake still goes well, but like we can get so much more value in this round off of our util. This is good. Oh, fuck. Kind of scary. I thought that Dodo didn't have an op. What was Dodo's mix-up in this round with op? Oh, I see the angle. I actually see the angle. Why does it look like I'm jiggle peeking on my webcam? Sorry, bro. I see the angle. They're trying to pop the orb early so that you can take timing over here. Peek here. I would warn that popping your orb this early is a tell. It's a tell that you're doing something mid. There's no reason for you to pop your orb insta, by the way. Trade goes out on the fast open. One way is smoke abused. Nice by Mel. Double up from Sage Viper to re-peek the space. I like it. I like the proactivity. Double walk is good. Late wall at 104 is also really, really good. Dude, every time somebody said, oh, this round. Okay, that's... I mean, that's just a mistake. That one's kind of a simple one to diagnose, for sure. I actually have to pee so bad. Oh, fuck. They've done the solo queue. The solo queue play.
30 seconds left.
A fake ropes to B. Jump across the angle gets punished because of full audio. Okay. She can just tell that he's jumping. So ready for it.
Spike down B.
I mean, the idea behind deadlock holding sensor with op is that you have to walk into the angle. It's so easy to get a kill. Okay, I actually need to pee. Fucking bad.
Here.
Okay, be right back. Be right back. Yo. Did stream die? No.
My ultimate is ready. This is our home.
Do you think there is significant value in VOD reviewing your own games? Or do you think someone will probably miss what they were doing wrong? If you have like a pretty solid reflective ability, I think VOD reviewing your own games is good, yeah.
Cheers, mate. That much, thanks.
But I think a lot of people are pretty good at diagnosing and reflecting in the moment after they die. That it's not needed for everyone. But it can be good to do. Because I think, like, for example, when you play a pro match, you're mostly playing off of your instinct. Even when you play competitive, you're mostly playing off your instinct. And your instinct is telling you that you're doing the play because you think it's good. But you won't really always know if your play is good unless you review it. Like, for example, the Mel round here. Mel swings into spawn after taking this initial fight, killing one hell, blinding this guy, push him off, and then taking this deep fight. You won't really know if it was a good play or not unless you kind of like look back at it, kind of understand why you're doing it. What's the downside to doing it? Kind of like asking yourself the important questions. Okay. TP across meets TP across. TP didn't take us fully across, so Mel gets put to 1 HP. Feels like Mel needs to perma-hide, blind, then Sage angles out the Omen. Sage gets netted though. This happens kind of late. So issue with the TP. Could pull out blind. Could blind the Omen while the Sage angles out. Wait, so the CT side TP is favored? Nah, yeah, the T side, yeah. I mean, the difference here for sure as well is like, you're pressuring the cross, right? So in the round that the Omen doesn't decide to TP, you're beating timings. It's like the reason why you would do it from a defender POV. But yeah, the timing doesn't actually work out your way, I guess. Which is what Mel was talking about. So it is good. T-side one does look pretty good. Unless a Neon literally slide peeks you. Then you're fucked. Two-man flood. Right side Molly. Double swing left. Right side Molly, double swing left.
One enemy remaining. Spike down.
It's definitely going to be hard to double swing into that. Because when you Molly right, you're pretty much telling them that I can't go there, you can't go there, and their Neon beat the timing. So, like, everyone's always going to be holding that double swing that they're doing. Kind of unfortunate. But they're down numbers, so just kind of go for it. Makes sense. Hopefully another jump spot done silently. I fear, though, that this jump spot was not done silently. I'm definitely fearing that. These jump spots on this map are fucking brutal, man. I think that everybody always watches pro play and thinks that jump spotting is good. A lot of these spots that are like kind of entrenched where they can hear it are not. These are just not good jump spots unless you know how to do it silently. Both like full prepare the opponent for your angle. Especially if you're playing against a guy that's T-side opping, like, bro, it's so easy. You can jump spot silently. Yeah, you can. I fucked it here, but yeah, you can. Same idea. You just hold shift. Jump spot from the box. Nah, I mean, that's gonna make full audio. This is how you get like. I mean, you can. It's harder to hit, but yeah, any ramp like this, you can just hold. You can hold shift. Obviously, I'm fucking it up, but I am fucking it up. Jesus, bro. This is definitely the harder one to do. The other one is like a bit easier. But you can tell that Cuz very, very intently is peeking specifically the ramp angle. If you know someone's T-side opping, it's way better to do like off angles and this kind of thing. Because you know they're going to contact into your line. If you play the jiggle, you're just going to die. So the fact that there's audio into a rejiggle is fucked. Definitely fucked. Looking for res. Man, he just kills the Lexus again. And they get sight for free. This round is full chalked. Fuck. I would say playing on site is obviously really, really important when there's a Viper in play. When Viper ult's in play, like, you generally want to see your players playing, like, more entrenched. Like, have an actual anchor in the round that you can play off of. Maybe Sage plays A, can wall off just somewhere to make the site really fucking annoying to take. You wall this across, as an example. Then just maintain the space on site. There's a lot of options of things that you can do. But you definitely want to play on site, and the fact that the death happens at ramp, and then you have to give and then go retake ramp together. You have two playing in a Viper ult. Like, this round is just fucked from a macro perspective, I won't lie. You end up having to play retake A while they have Viper ult. This is already going to be an insanely hard round. Man, Sky took timing through the Viper ult as well. So Sky gets a freebie on Noya for sure. Dodo gets an insta trade, which is fucking crazy, by the way.
Gonna fall back here. Gonna fall.
This again feels like there's no clear with 3-2-1.
Fall back here. Gonna fall back here.
The smoke would be there, you know, as you're like taking. Jover.
Enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Damn. Okay, that took me fucking forever to get through, but we made it. We made it eventually. Alright, Fracture next. Damn. Damn. I think there's a lot of micro stuff. There's a lot of like game planning on the map as well. I mean, whenever you lose, there's obviously so much to work on. Yeah, it felt like a lot of micro. A little bit of macro. But like, I'll be honest, I think that if you were to change anything about that split attack needs to be a lot more contacty for sure. Split attack might be the walk around map. The only spots that you're really feeling that forced to add util is like when you're coming out of this choke. Sometimes when you're crossing this line, but not always. When you're crossing this line as well, it's usually really important to add util, just because these crossfires are like pretty fucked. When you cross this line, obviously, as well. There's a lot of micro details that go into pretty much how we can make that better. And then defense, it felt like there was just not that really... There was some moments of like double peek here, walk down, take space that I liked. Felt like just so many individual errors though. I'd say the biggest red flags for me is like jump spotting, giving away info for free. This is like really, really bad. I think you almost, whenever you like have, are you a coach for SRG? No, no. Whenever you have a comp, let's say their comp was Waylay, Omen, Sky, Sage, Viper. I think you have to have like, you have to have set default setups, like how people are going to play certain areas together. I think Waylay should always be the float. Pick whatever lane you want to go to. This should be somewhat their default setup, I think. This is what I visualize to be the best. If you're getting punished toward B, I think doing something like this is really, really good as a pivot. But the idea with Sage that I think is really good is late round putting this wall like 50. So saving your dog, re-clearing with flashes, saving your dog so that you can get this deep wall is so, so strong macro-wise. Why not just run both Teo and Breach? They work well together. On split? Hopefully you're talking about Fracture. Teo and Breach on Fracture is fucking insane. You need to have like really clear protocols of how you're gonna like play off of one another and fight space. Feels like they were often like on completely different pages. For example, stuck here, Sky's like full focus on their own job here. This duel is being taken. No support after. Feels off. Feels off. They could definitely like, for example, if Waylay's playing here on an off angle, could be pretty good to just sit here with blind out. And if they ever like try to rush in, you have the option to like saturate close, blind there, put deep smoke, and you're just looking for additional punishes on people that like overextended. There could be so many different ideas like this that kind of like naturally blend together if you're like playing off of one another. I think as well, like this isn't a very comfy lane for people to scale through. So people don't usually play it to hard hold the drop. People usually opt into playing it from here. Like hard facing one rope, peeking on timing the other rope. This kind of thing. Just find more ways for people to be clumped together. I think is the simplest way to improve defense. What time is the ranked VOD review? Be honest, I low-key kind of like put it off because I wanted to watch this VOD. So it'd be after this VOD happens if the person's still available. Okay. We're on attack. 4B round. Stim. Sky and tower with a shorty. Pretty fucked up. I like the idea. I would just be really cautious about the amount of audio that was given. It makes this play way more obvious. I think if I was Cypher, I would probably not push through the smoke. You heard a step like this close to the smoke. That should almost be a tell to you that they might be actually trying to take the smoke. Shorty is so fucked. Is Astra viable on Fracture? Is it like a terrible pick? I think it's okay. I think it's okay, but I don't think it's ideal. A lot of the reason why people like Brim on Fracture is because, like, when you get into like an A split, as an example, or like you just go straight A, or you're playing defense and you play against a sand split, having the ability to smoke 3 things is like really, really strong. Like extremely strong. If you're playing Astra, you just can't do this. You just literally can't. You'd have to choose like this against a sand split, and then one guy in drop could just completely ruin your round. It just can happen. That being said, it's like Astra's fine. You just have to, like, you know, potentially have a gap in the round. Okay. I'm gonna be critical again. Run scaling is fucking hard. It's really hard. The only reason why I want you guys to think about this. Why does the Brim take the timing through this canteen smoke? Why does Anderson make this play? It's only because of audio. Only. There's no other reason to flood here. He hears Neon sprinting into sight, Teo sprinting into sight, Brim sprinting into sight. And to be honest, Anderson should die here. Noya has a good hold onto the smoke, the exact angle that Anderson comes out of. But it doesn't mean that you can't just walk this space if you think that someone could be in the smoke.
Spike down B. Last player standing.
Like, the conditions that make it so you have to run is kind of like somewhat what was happening here, so I understand the perspective. If the smoke is fading, then you need to like beat the timing and get across. Makes sense. But you'll definitely notice that people stop trying to take as many timings through smokes if you're just walking around, because they have nothing to go off of. They have no idea where you are, where to pre-aim. It's just a lot harder. Random, but what was wondering, how and why did you transition from LoL to Val? League of Legends patch cadence, like, it comes out every 2 weeks. At least it did during my time. So the game changes all the time. You have to be working like 16, 18-hour days. And I did that for like 7, 8 years. It's a little too much burnout, I think. I'm someone that definitely works super, super hard. Like 16-hour days is not like crazy unheard of, but losing while doing 16 to 18-hour days is fucked. Just created a crazy amount of burnout. Little orb farm kind of round. Do you guys notice here? Or TikTok. You can actually take this rope. You can take this rope full speed. You just have to attach silently. From the Sky's POV, not a single thing is heard. And you can tell that not a single thing was heard because Sky would be saying, everyone's going A main or B main. Everyone's going A main or B main. And then Breach wouldn't be holding drop, you know? They wouldn't have one person here at the A main line. Okay, here. Here, I mean, it's eco round. Doesn't matter too much. But I will say, you're basically calling your shot when you start making noise here that you think someone's on these angles. And if you don't think someone's on these angles, you should full contact all the way to aim in.
30 seconds left.
Getting early warning signs that it's going to be A. Look at the setup now. Now it's cooked. Completely cooked. They got the orbs they wanted in the round, though, so fuck it. All right, first gun. Into the bonus. Generally, it's really fucking scary to go tower on these rounds, just so we're same page. A slight whiff here. Is what it is. So what's happened here? I think the util, there's big util gap here. First, I don't know if you guys remember this. The old Fracture meta was smoking the cross whenever you wanted to do an arcade default. If you were going to slam and actually hit the B site, you would want to like, obviously not smoke this cross, but you'd be smoking this instead. These fights are still like pretty fine for defenders. It's a lot better on Fracture. If you're going to do the hit, then obviously you commit these smokes. It makes it so these angles are harder to like just stand in the open, get value. If you're going to do a default, I do think you need like some sort of smoke that's pressuring the cross so that this fight can't happen while you're like keying toward tower or keying forward. And then as well, like the Teo missile here, what does the Teo missile do? What does this Teo missile do? I think if you wanted to commit a B hit here, there's a lot of ways that you can execute this B hit, man. There's so many ways. Like a very classic B rush is like spending this molly from here. A lot of teams used to do this. And then you would just add Teo missiles up here, fully flush it out. They just cannot play the game. There's also, even without the molly, right? We can still do this with, there's a breach lineup that you can do that is like pretty fucking nice. It's like this. Missile comes here. Second missile goes on this side. This is like why breach Teo is broken. Yeah, you can do the aftershock from arcade as well. This is why breach Teo is so broken. To not do that to flush out tower on the round that you think they could have judges because it's a bonus. This is just objectively pretty bad. The only missile that we saw was the missile that went deep into like the B main or the corner over here. We called this angle danger. Now somebody's gonna have to take this dry. I mean, I like how Mel jumped to the ledge, took a better fight. But she's just cooked, no? She's actually fucked.
Hard feelings. Cage triggered.
It's actually fucked. Walking around is good. Noya gives. Good decision making.
Down B. Last player standing.
Unlucky. Yeah, I would like to see a bit more clarity in our decision making, like in terms of the like the game plan. Like this is our scripted round. Round 3, round 4 needs to be our best rounds. You know what I mean? This has to be like almost like the showing of our best strat in every game. Because you need to win round 3, you need to win round 4. So kind of like a rush, but not really a rush. No smoke on either like issue area. util and tower being completely off. It's a lot of gaps. Just crazy amount of gaps here. Okay, now we're seeing... Pretty sure we're quite literally seeing the B rush. I got flashbang by Lelouch. Classic. So funny. Every now and again, you'll just see my background. Lelouch pops out. Okay, we did the brim molly this round. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this. This brim molly was found from here. I think it was Mako. I think it was Mako that found that molly lineup, or that had it, and then showed it. So there is a better molly lineup than the old, like, far as fuck one, so you can have better scaling. But this does seem to be like a consistent trend here, no? Molly came in, but we're not even like... Are we nuking tower? No, right? We're not nuking tower, taking tower. It's just the molly. How is Alexis supposed to take tower late? This shit is actually like impossible. Kind of get away with it for free though. This round really fell apart. Fucking hell. Maybe they heard the 3-man fight? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in this case, like, Alexis can react based on the info of everything happening. Enemy is giving a lot of audio here, for sure. These timings are funny. Okay, so it was a 4v3 here. Do you think Vice is good on Fracture? Not really. I don't think so. Did you watch the EMEA Grand Final with Martine's insane Astral micro stuff? Yeah. Yeah, I did. Martine plus Astral is just too good of a combo, I won't lie. It's 4v3. Our smokes are fading. We re-smoke Gen. Traded 1-for-1. One person reloading, one person planting, one person audio. Do you feel like SRG gets too much respect here? Like on GC, they have the aura where people aren't making as many dumb hero plays against them, but here the enemy doesn't have the same respect. I think that's like the wrong perspective to have. I think that's the wrong perspective to have. If I learned anything from this stream, just never let go of shift key. I'm not going to lie. I think that audio is probably the most... It's the biggest pain point for, like, so many of these tier 2 teams. Because the thing is, this round has, like, almost nothing to do with respect. Respect would be, like, you're not taking a fight that you should, even if it's favored. Because you want to like group up with your teammate and then like peek together. This isn't respect. Anderson isn't making a brain dead hero play here. You have to realize, Anderson understands. He's down numbers. He's down numbers. Listen, just close your eyes and try to envision everything that you hear here.
Spike planted.
A lot of things happening at once, but you can kind of piece it together. Whenever this pops up on your screen, this means that one player is guaranteed pulling their gun out. Guaranteed. What else does he hear? Anderson hears one person reloading. What else does he hear? He hears Brimstone running out of A main or out of B main. This is almost like a thing of things being either too hectic or like just a lot of audio is given for free. Like Alexis obviously is just planning the spike. Not too much can change there. Planning in the open is obviously extremely risky and incurs this kind of risk, right? You sit here in the open, you plant. If they do take a timing through tower, if they take a timing through lane here, you are just fully in the open. If everyone's walking around here, there's no reload audio.
Spike.
And spike goes down. Do you think Anderson still takes the timing if there's zero audio except for the spike going down? Maybe. Maybe he feels like he has to go for a hero play, but he definitely visualizes he's about to go one for one at best. If he hears nothing. If he goes for the same play, which he might, because he's down numbers. Is the play you just don't force the plan reset of it? Yeah, for sure. It's 115. You don't need to get the best plan in the world. You can just keep holding. Maintain your space. Chill. 115. Plenty of time. Give people time to like kind of set up. Walk around. Plant when it's secure, and you don't have to plan the open, especially if your team is like majority on site. There's a lot of takeaways here for every single person individually. The most important thing, though, is just drilling this idea of audio, man. You don't even realize how much info you're giving somebody that's sitting at the edge of a smoke. Would you tap plant to see if they swing or just get in position? You could do that as well. I think that's a really good play. But if I'm Anderson, I'm not swinging through the smoke until I see it says spike planted. Because this means, like I said, one person's fully out of the round. I feel like it's less audio and rather not making yourself vulnerable without info. Audio like tells him exactly where he's going to pre-aim. Because he definitely heard Brim steps, knows exactly where the Neon is. Neon's reloading and knows exactly where the plant is. He doesn't actually swing on the timer of the spike plant, by the way. He actually swings before, like when he preemptively thinks the spike's going to get planted, so. I don't know. Definitely doing a bit too much for sure. Could just, once again, kind of like take things slow, walk around. The teams at Santiago that were the best, it was like very apparent that they kind of understood this. You don't want to give up timings to your opponent for free. The way that you do that is by making things be hectic. Like the way you end up giving away timings is you make things be hectic. You're giving a shit ton of audio. You have to choose your timings as a team to give audio, and it's usually got to be based on really solid util. Like you're going to hard scale because you know your utils affected someone. And you're going to get a punish on them. If you give audio without that kind of condition, you're just kind of readying people for the fight that's to come.
Camera taken out.
Okay, this looks to be an arcade default. No smoke pressuring the crosshair. Okay, the thing I don't like already. This Cypher could jiggle this line once the cam gets broken. And he'll just know that no one ever crossed. Here, maybe they're looking for a breach ult play. Is maybe what I would assume if I'm Cypher and I see that nobody's crossed. Now we're going to do a B pop where we've kind of like prepped the enemy team like, hey, we're making arcade noise. We go underpass to B main. B main, by the way, I think if you were to go through and categorize every single one of the types of hits you could do on attack, I think, by the way, I think for every map, it's really important to do this. Like, how comfy is 5A main? How comfy is it instead to do like 4 through sand and then have 1 go through main? What's the protocol and why should we do this versus when we should do 5A main? Getting like all of that kind of on the same page so that you know what strats are good and which ones don't work. I think 5B through the main choke is fucking hard. Extremely hard. I remember watching this round. We actually watched this round live. You guys remember this? I think this tail ult doesn't really get valued. There's so many tail ults in this on this map that like actually guaranteed kill. Ult's the wrong way, no? If you're trying to kill a gen player, yeah, it's for sure the wrong way. If you're trying to flush them out and prevent any kind of flood, then this ult is better. But I'm going to be honest, like, you're never killing anyone with this ult. This ult's only purpose is to fish them into exactly the line that they're at. And the thing that I remember having an issue with in this round was that there's no follow-up util here. So what's the combo? Like, what's the goal of the util? If the goal is to push them out into this area, you've done it. This ult is perfect, but we need to see the second layer or it's completely useless. It's basically like a glorified molly, what we've thrown in Gen. But like this is where EG Fracture was really good because like we would do these kinds of things that were like 2 layered ult plays where it's like, all right, now we flush them out into this area so that we have a punish for this area. You guys remember, for example, we would do like the KG ult. KG ult ends here. We would stun this area with breach and then brim ult this side. So you're either getting detained or you're dying to stun breach ult. Do you think the old EG comp would still work out this meta? Yeah, 100%. I think that Teo though is a little too broken on this map. Teo's just way too broken. The fact that this is like a 1-for-1 trade is actually like pretty lucky, I think. If teams were consistently running Vito and Fracture, are you still running Teo? Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably still would. I think that just currently, like, the meta has forced everyone to play a slower micro game. Where, like, people are doing a lot more contacting. And Vito suffers so much. Like, Vito needs to basically be, like the Vito player has to be, like, an off-angle god. And also, yeah, it's not a super, super open map. Like, imagine if I'm doing, like, a tower nuke. If I'm doing a tower nuke, I would need to have my interceptor, like, inside tower to counter that. I don't know. It's not that. I don't know. Are they scared SRG is going to run through Tail? Why are they not looking canteen? I mean, there's always a world, right? There's always a world. The Neon could have pathed that way. They realized kind of late what's actually going on. Only one player is really looking toward Gen. And it looks more like he's prepping to like peek after the ult. It doesn't zap on travel. It does. But like, where are you going to put the trophy? If you're like getting arcade split on. I will say that Vito's one of the agents I have not fucked around with like almost at all. But like, for example, even if you put it here. Yeah, maybe you could put it here and just hard fight the cross. Because usually people activate these missiles. But I mean, even then, it's like there's still, you know, potential gap. Hard to test things like Vito solo. Yeah, exactly. That's why I haven't been able to test a lot. If I was in a team, it'd be way easier because then I could just force my players to get in the server. 1-2 on Prem. Nice, bro. But yeah, I would definitely say that in terms of ult rounds, this is like a pretty low value ult. Pretty low value ult. Imagine if they did, like we said, you could breach, stun, ult the opposite direction, probably guarantee kill the Gen player. Definitely guarantee kill the Gen player. You could do the same thing Canteen, same idea, stun plus ult. If that's what your read is in the round that they're playing from Gen. And like, you have a pretty confident read here, right? Because this guy quite literally dogged. You know that there's players in that area.
Spike planted. Spike planted.
The plant is for out here again. Inside the smoke. Bro, the one thing I've always felt about Fracture, by the way. The one thing I've always felt about Fracture is that this default plant is so fucking hard to get off. Do you guys know how easy it is? Like, bro, I've thought about this a lot. I'm on the wrong map. Do you know how easy it is to kill a player that's at default trying to plant? Obviously, in this round, it's not exactly the same because we push Canteen, but... Bro, a Canteen player could literally learn a spam lineup and you just kill someone every single round for free. I'll give you the example. Man, but everybody being stuck default, getting spammed through the smoke, is fucked. The lack of smokes in this round is definitely pretty apparent. I think if you're going to do this ult and you want to get this deep space, you should smoke deep here at the bare minimum. And like kind of, you know, have somebody take the space and actually hold that smoke could be pretty fucking fire. Wait, actually, Harbor could easily solo smoke Fracture. It's possible. Definitely possible. The problem comes down to like, if people do any type of like faking. People do any type of faking, you burn your high tide early, you're like completely fucked. Because now you only have one smoke. So you have to choose your fight timings like really precisely, by the way. Okay, I was thinking about this a lot. You guys see this hexagon? If you just quite literally, you aim at the like middle left of this one. You guys kind of see what I'm talking about? Even if you get smoked off, let me just show. You still see it clear as day. I heard Hex and got jump scared. I mean, like, this is like insanely easy to do. And just an easy little microplay that you can add. I'm going to line it up in my ranked game and some idiot with a Bucky is going to slime me. It's just so easy, bro. Like, this hits both people, by the way. It's just so disgusting. Like, anybody that's playing Brimstone, you can just quite literally, like, just easy kill. This plant is like high key so illegal, but people still get away with it. You could probably easily find like a lineup too here. Bro, it's so simple. It's bottom left of the fucking hexagon. Bro, you know how easy this shit is to do? Like, you can just full deny their plant. Pretty fucked up. I had all of my players learn every lineup for, like, the easy kill spots. Like, for example, if you're Brimstone and you're here... I think it was here. Yeah. Like, if you don't have these basic lineups and you're not getting free kills... Is it the gray, more accurately? I think both would kill. But, like, bro, if you don't have these lineups for, like, retake and this kind of thing... Kind of curious to see if that goes too far. Nah, can't stand here. Bro, that shit is just too money, bro. It's so hard to plant on this fucking fracture bomb site. I think people forget, bro. When a map gets taken out of the pool, people just forget everything. We're doing arcade defaults without smoking the cross. We're trying to plant consistently at default, and people aren't even, like, denying it. These are, like, basic fracture fundamentals that I guess people just kind of forgot about. Looks like it's going to be a fast B. Fast B again. Bro. Are you guys seeing this? You guys seeing what I'm seeing? Naruka, thank you, bro. Another 4 gifted? You're actually the GOAT, bro. You're actually the GOAT. Thank you, bro. Much appreciated. W Skyop. I guess Cuz just likes to op, huh? Naruka subscribed as well. Thank you, bro. Actually, massive W. W's in the fucking chat. W's in the chat. By the way, are you guys seeing this fucking Cypher trip that we see here? Holy shit. That's what this trip is doing, no? I'm actually missing it, by the way. Countering your shorts? This isn't countering shit. I'm full silent, bro. So what does that trip do? Are you sure it's supposed to be not on the platform? It stops. They didn't watch the shorts, so they don't know the tech? Guess so. Okay, here... Wait a fucking second here. Did we delay the molly? Because Mel sits over here for a while, but timing-wise, you have to, like, insta-rip this molly, by the way. Timing-wise, you have to insta-rip the molly. The player's here. The player's here. Oh, by the way, we hit 100 subs. That's why you did that, Naruka. Thank you, bro. Much appreciated. Holy fuck, 100 subs? It's actually massive, I won't lie. But yeah, like, these players will be looking for this molly to be landing and then dump the util. That should be kind of like what the timings look like. Looks like we're also stunning tower. I mean, we are flushing out tower fully. Here's the problem, though. If we don't take the space and time... If we don't take the space and time, then we're just basically, like, we opened up the opportunity for them to rewalk the space. So we lost our timing. The enemy could have seen all this util fly in, stand here in the open, nothing happened, no pressure, and then just rewalk. So, like, we need to take... Like, this might be an area where you're saying they're giving too much respect. whoever said that previously, this would be something that you could deem is probably too much respect. The fact that they're not taking space off of their utility shows like a low level of confidence, or maybe they just don't actually have that part of their strat like kind of drilled. They usually get a punish here. The guy is flushed out and like swings here. But like realistically, you just deady one guy to holding it, and then everybody else just hard scales, takes the space. And then now you at the very least have people up here. There's so many gaps, bro. So many gaps, for sure.
Off your feet!
Oh no, bro.
Feet!
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think Fracture, if you're not like extremely drilled on Fracture, it's just gonna be hard, bro. There's so many timings and util things. Here, for example, the breach alt line has to be a specific way. The breach alt comes, Dodo accidentally gets clipped by it. You can't really see it on chat or on minimap fully. But that's why Dodo's kind of late to punish here.
Last player standing. Blinded.
Gotta show the love and support. I very much so appreciate it, bro. You've gone above and beyond for sure, without a doubt. Okay. Waiting for a full regroup, maybe? Also, judging by this game, do you feel as though SR is trying too hard to brute force around the map? No, I feel like just a lot of their game plan stuff is kind of like off. I mean, I think that that's a really good question though, because like to be honest, like Fracture does kind of play in a way that you can do set strats pretty much every single round. So I can see why you'd have that perspective. Like there's nobody like getting inserted. There's no one like working map control, going back. Push someone off the A line, faking a little bit. Fracture can be played in a way that you're just kind of slamming over and over. It can be played that way. So I don't think you have to do a lot of like... They had one round where they two-phase, where they did like arcade pressure into their B main alt strat. I think it's just a lot of this stuff is more so issues in like game planning, having good timings on your util, understanding like where you're fighting, what space are you taking, and then like how you're punishing off of that, and then some issues in the micro as well. I would say the majority issues are kind of game plan and maybe like a little bit of respect. Like, so here, I mean, there's a lot of optimization we can do. Just feels like stun went to drop, which is fine. Breach gets one, it's great. We know Sky is out to smoke. We're like waiting, but we have Neon ult. Would it be fully ideal to play like that always? Probably not. Probably not. Would that be something also comp dependent? Yeah. Like you would probably speed up if enemy has money for an op, right? Because then you don't want to feel like you could be getting opt, so you're going to like add more util to pretty much everything that you do, so you start playing to slam a bit more. I think like some of these rounds, they were kind of intending on maybe doing like a bit of a arcade default and then going into something, but Arcade default is great. The problem with arcade default, though, to be honest, is that like your pivots out of the arcade default are kind of like mid. Because like, what are you going to do? Go back drop? No, then you have to like take the rope. And this takes a long fucking time. Going all the way back, taking the rope across, then doing something else. It's kind of hard. Like on our team, we would do a lot of fake arcade from like far while we take the rope back and then insta contact A main. I think that's like pretty good. Just guessing, but it seems like everyone on SRG just waits for Mel to call rather than taking initiative on their own. That could be the case. I could easily visualize a scenario though here where like they killed this neon player inside of the main. They did what they wanted to do in the strat. And then they either feel a little bit lost, like you're saying. But they could definitely just high key kind of simplify this round, right? This does feel like a little bit of that. But I could also see the world where somebody says, wait for the rest of the team, and they go out together here instead of taking the 2v1 on Sky. Which isn't necessarily bad. One for one kind of comes as a result of it. They do have a lot of people on site every single one of these fracture hits. Stand in open, take duel. Teammates aren't really playing off of this at all. This is like some of the micro stuff coming into play here. Like here, I would expect my dead calmers, because we know where everyone is, right? There is an ideal setup here, is the thing. Do you know how insane this setup is? It's actually fucked. It's so good. If you have 3 people alive, you have a high-low here, player here, player here. These guys ping the line. They're holding. They're just double holding here. This player can be just like holding this crack from when they go wide here. It allows these players to basically be here, pivot into this fight instant. Probably better to do 3-man face sand. You can do that as well. There's a lot of ways to play this scenario. I think like, yeah, they need to find a way to play with each other here. They need to. I think for me, a lot of the time it would be the dead calmer or the person that visualizes the team fights the best, kind of being the one that says this. Like if you have Asuna on your team here, Asuna would get you into this setup in like 1 second. He would say, high-low sand. And then fight main off Sarah. It would happen insta. By the way, this shit is so fucking loud. I will say, once you get spotted here, though, it's probably better to hold sand together and then do a peek on timing. For real, me and Asuna gotta be stopped. Maybe they should have pushed instead of staying on site. No, I think staying on site is good. They have no util to break the setup here. It's Cypher and Brimstone alive, right? I think they just take too many individual duels. They don't find good duels together in this case. They're all just kind of doing their own thing. Sarah's just full solo here. I think like... I wonder what Noya's perspective is in this round. I wonder what Noya's perspective is. Why is Noya angling and holding spawn? Did they not know? I guess they didn't know fully. But like, you should have been able to tell. Especially from here. Yeah, I guess they were just unaware. Is what it is. Could still be one player spawn, so they didn't want to do that setup. Damn. lot of these fights are just impossible. I'm gonna be honest. I think trying to go through this cage, making hella audio, flash W King through the smoke, guaranteed death, eventually kill this guy. Holy fuck. How did this blind not catch? The map design is sometimes kind of funny. You can tell there's a bit of random like little cubbies that like this flash can go into. I don't know. I think both teams are kind of like opting into some crazy fights here. Like, bro, Koof has an op and he's like still staying in this zone. I have to ask, did you ever have a combo about the better comms in 2024, like the tether default thing? Yeah, we talked about the tether default thing. Like, obviously he got a lot of criticism, but like ultimately the thing is, I think like his overall volume could obviously go down, but everything else is perfect. Like, he's communicating concisely. He's just making sure he's extremely urgent because it's an urgent comm. Like, it needs to fucking happen right now. It's just more like a volume thing than anything. Like, I would rather have him being super high energy, super passionate, than a player that comms like super monotone. And then like, for some players on some teams, it's harder for them to get into the game without like adding in a bunch of energy and passion. Feels like you care more. Our team was definitely a team that needed a lot of high energy. So like, while people could perceive it as like bad comms, I just told him like he could lower the volume. That's pretty much it. I think that he should keep the same level of urgency if it's an important comp. I remember watching this round. We actually did watch this round together. This was good. Coming out drop, impossible. Just not possible. I mean, realistically, they should have had at least 2 of these rounds. Even 3 of these rounds, right? If we're thinking back to how this round is, or this half is gone, 3 of these rounds were easily convertible, which would put people on eco. That means that, you know, like, I think this round was the most egregious round. The ult round with Teo, I think it was one of these 2 rounds. It was also really bad. You have to have very clearly defined ult plays, for sure. This looks like it's a 4-man B fight. I think this is really good against KDL. Won't lie. This flash is like high key mid. Any player that goes wide, I think, is not getting flashed for that. The decision to fight here, though, during the KGL round is really good. So a kill already happened on Mel here. What breach util are we using? So remember that split clip from Austin where he's like screaming like he's playing Call of Duty? Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a passionate guy. Extremely high energy. But low-key, our team kind of needed a bit of that. The usual protocol for a lot of teams to counter a B push, especially on your KJ ult round, is to just sit where this turret is and just hold stun. Like, quite literally, just sit there and hold stun. Like, you need to have... on EG, we called it tank util. There's a lot of ways that you can position. To be honest, because like your teammates are scaling on back wall, either way, you can hold a really good stun. By the way, Monkey Business playing Kane Zero, map 3, OT. Never mind, no OT. But yeah, you need to be holding this stun, bro. This stun, slightly different stun, depending on like what your team agreed upon in terms of scaling. A lot of this stuff is so important, bro. Like, think about the flow-on effect of this round, right? Yeah, and like you could have done the really good stun line because of how we scaled. We scaled holding our like A key. Nobody went turtle. Nobody scaled straight into the open. Bro, just imagine the world Imagine the world. Still happening, Funhaver? Yo, what happened to Kane's stream? Oh, did they already win? Probably already won. This almost to me feels like another just game plan thing. What is the lore on Monkey Business? Is this a team? No, Monkey Business is a player. Monkey Business is a player. He's a very, very talented player. Mostly only plays like chamber and shit though, so like probably up his flexibility a bit, but he's a very, very strong mechanical player. Yeah, I think a lot of this comes down to game plan again. So I'm just gonna kind of skip through. I think a lot of this. Stun held in case something happens to Dish. I like that. There's not often people in Dish these days. So having stun. Having stun for the actual side hit, I think is really good. I don't know where the stun just went though. Okay, this is the trip that he wanted to throw, surely. Because this one, you can't avoid this trip. Nice. Like the only small gap is obviously like on top of ropes. I think a lot of players will get fished into trying to play this gap. So I think it should be a little bit more diligent of a clear, but I think it's fine. Like once the site is like completely free and you can spend some time like hard clearing this, I think it's good. But a lot of people default play, they insta go to that gap and they try to play that gap.
You should run. Go, go, go.
KJ alt A. Eco round. Eco round 4v5 KJ alt A. Trying to convert the round.
One enemy remaining.
I mean, it's a lot of post by util. Seems like it wasn't even fully an eco actually. Unless they got these guns. Oh, they got these guns from these players' sand? Or what? No, they already had the guns. Yeah, I mean, solid. Well done. You play against a team, full retake, they push through Dish. This round kind of makes a lot of sense from both teams, low-key. The full retake A, I think, is pretty crazy. Like 5-man toward B. I don't think I've ever seen this happen on a gun round. Is the logic that they're trying to fish people into thinking like, you know, they're doing a B push? I see it. I see the angle now. Neon jumps on top of the box, looks over the smoke. These players are going here, looking to kind of bait the reaction, like arcade speed up when they hear a B push. They have 4 people ready for the fight. I see the idea. I don't mind that. In case you guys don't know too, Neon can jump from this box onto this box. And then you can see over the smoke that you put in B main. And it sees over this box as well. So he's looking for this kind of kill opportunity. He's actually having a fight there with Killjoy. Pretty good round. Gun versus gun. fake dish noise.
Go, go, go.
Bait's attention here. Cypher's
I
calling
must wait a moment.
for rotate.
Gotta go.
Is this one of the first rounds that we're doing a fake? It's actually really good because we've done so many facets. It's a really good call. The problem is it happens at a bad time, no? This is a problem I always have with fakes. Watch the enemy natural reaction here.
This goes here. That goes there.
And this is the worst setup for them to play when they're getting faked on because they have nobody in A main. So they don't even know if people are up A main
Go, go, go.
in this round. They could low-key be visualizing people walking this space while they hear the neon because this is kind of what was happening before. Now that the walls come out and they don't go, look at the reaction. Insta turn around. The fake needs to happen while they're like taking this timing. Low key. Now look, like people are going to be quickly reacting kind of back over. There's going to be 4 people here. They did get the space and they baited people off site, which is really good. I do like the overall idea of the call of like faking drop once you've done so much of like the drop hit over and over. No smoke canteen. No smoke canteen. We burned 2 smokes on the fake. Oh fuck, we did. Fuck. This is once again the problem with trying to do too much in the macro though. Fuck. That's tough, bro. That is fucking tough. If you try to do a lot in the macro, right? You burn 2 smokes. Now you don't have smokes for the hit. You just get picked.
Get lost.
Now this player gets another opportunity. Gets punished. Money ult, bro. No, Dodo got hit again. Do you think Canteen or Gen is priority? I think that Gen has to be priority.
I'm out of here. They're dead.
There's too many fucked up angles that you can have from Gen, right? It's like you can see into B main, you could see the arcade cross, you can angle from either side and fight all of sight. Canteen feels kind of claustrophobic, right? You're like peeking from this like really tight angle. You can only kind of see into sight. You have to do a bit of W keying. The Gen smoke is definitely better. Asher's stock skyrocketed. I mean, if Asher had ult, solve that problem.
Last round.
I mean, if you really think about it though, like, yes, there's a lot of bad, like, kind of game planning stuff that could be improved in terms of the utility, but low key, like, SRG could definitely optimize util, but low key, SRG was in, what is this? 3 scenarios that they lost where they were actually up numbers. So even with a lot of util optimization that can come into play, they were still in a bunch of scenarios that if they slowed down, played the micro better, they would have converted. Probably just need more reps. The only thing is, like, if you have a bad strat, like, reps doesn't really entirely solve that. Like, low-key, you should fix the problem before it happens, right? You shouldn't need reps, theoretically, to fix a strat. You should try to, like, figure it out in server time, understand all the gaps, understand, like, why people are scaling in certain areas because this util is affecting it. This gap is open, so you have to hard clear it. It should be all kind of solved, and then reps are, like, fine-tuning. A lot of this feels almost like on the fly. Is the best way I can put it. Like the util timings aren't really like util position and timings aren't really fully making sense. Or like they're not elevating one another. Okay, so B main control forces B main smoke.
Scout destroyed.
Dog used to try to push through. They're looking to counter. Stun Brim ult. Stun Brim ult is old tech. But usually you would do this with Fade Tether. I think trying to get this punish. Here's the issue that I have. Okay. Let me go on Astra and I can explain. I think pro players have gotten better to the fact that, like, for example, if you hear this door, that's supposed to be the activation of the trap, right? Door opens, it gives audio cue. You stun where the door is, you brim ult them. Okay. The difference is now, if you get stunned, like, you can still like maintain momentum while you're jumping, while you're stunned. That's why every pro player will jump, because you maintain momentum. But yeah, I mean, if you literally just sit there, eat the stun, like, look at how slow I am. Like, I might actually die. Yeah, and if the Teo missile is supposed to catch the backside of that, it's good that you bring that up, Haku. Then the timing just doesn't work that way, right? The timing doesn't work that way. This is like something you value plant and you think that it's good, and then you actually get in a server and test it, and it doesn't work. Missiles have travel time, and it's like ultimately, like, most of the time pretty bad. Do players always remember the set strats? How many would you really have per map, and would you constantly practice it in scrims or just remember it in server time? The way that my system worked, I would constantly make them rep it in server. So we would go over a strat like probably like 20 times and make sure that the timings were good. So for example, we had this strat, right? Let's use Fracture as the example here because this just makes the most sense. We had a strat. You would stand here with Breach. You would insta-stun this. So Neon would fast open and put the pressure of, like, you're running it down. And you're going to basically stun this player that's in heaven. Aftershock. And missiles go through, basically securing the kill. The way that the timings would have to work, it's very specific. Like, you have to choose. Is this going to be the first missile? Or is this going to be the first missile? This one has to be the first one because it needs to feel like you're trapping them in with the stun. So the players here, their reaction when they get stunned is going to be going this way. They see the missile here. How are they going to react? Are they going to bunny hop through it? Then they see this missile come. It's like you're like basically forcing their reactions into all of your util, and then you're killing them. And you have to like practice these timings to make sure that it's actually a real strat and that it's good. That was one of our most successful like kind of freebies as a ante to a team. If we knew that a team liked to have a player that stayed up here and didn't like to do this drop, this was like a free kill. A one-time kind of free kill round. So in this case, you would have to say, like, either it's a bad strat. I think there's a lot of factors, to be honest here. I think there's a lot of factors. I would first, in a server, test to see if a perfect, like, brim ult like this, plus, like, better missiles that go deeper, would actually kill this player or not. And, like, force him to go up the rope, and then combine this with, like, a fast open. Like, the whole time that you're lining up here, like, you know, you have everyone like full waiting with all of the util, and you're just waiting for this fucking door to open. This is kind of why I like Chamber, dude. Having a guy on your team that can just peek and activate these kinds of things is fucking nice. He just has all the A main info every round because he just hard swings it. They could definitely make the strat better, and maybe it would work, but you would have to like test these things in a server to make sure that it gets value. Like every single time you get brim ult, in scrims, you should practice this strat to see if it actually gets the punish. And then maybe you could learn something different to like elevate the strat. Sand split here when you get stopped from A main. I think this is a really good protocol. So here, if you notice you're here, you get hard stopped. You still have 2 smokes, you just re-hit through sand. I think this is a really good pivot. The util is like that you're really expecting somebody in sand though. You're like, all of our util's been spent here. You could contact this instead. Use the util for sight. Mel's timing is just a little bit sad here that nobody actually kept this space. Pretty sad. Mel being the player that has to retake all the A main space gives up this timing. You'd rather have a player inserted here so that this kind of thing can't happen, for sure. Anderson loves the smokes, bro. Being in the smoke, taking timing outside the smoke.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
I'll be the one to say it again. Just have to think about it, like... So much util thrown sand. Part of Anderson's thought process is here, he knows it's heavy sand, so he's going to take a risk in A main. A lot of this made based on audio fully. Busio playing Deadlock these days. Did he fall out of love with Valo? Yeah, pretty sure. Is what it is, though. If he likes Deadlock more, just play Deadlock. I think there's too many people here, bro. 360-degree fight. Once you lose A main, it's so hard. Okay, swap sides. 9-3, but this easily could have been better. Easily could have been better. Yo, what the fuck is Cuz doing? We're in a high-low, bro. Focus up. Pause, wait for the crunch. Go. Why are they making so much audio, bro? Really giving that much audio? Could have walked literally all the way through A main.
Brimstone down.
Having dish control is so useless. I hate dish. Oh my god, he's planted in the open. He's planted in the open because it's completely free. This round is just chalked, bro. The retake is so hard, bro. With them having this much space, I feel like the best way to play this round with the setup that you have, because dish is so terrible. Brim rotates over, drops smokes, and you just play for the flood. There's a really good neon lineup that you can do over the smoke that stuns sight. There's a lot of good neon stuff that you can do from drop. Like with this smoke, I'm pretty sure you can quite literally throw it up high. You can see these lineups over the smoke. But there's ways that you can stun the sight essentially without even like seeing with the smoke. But I'm not gonna lie, you hear the plant here. It's pistol, so it's hard to like really spam. But I think this is like a really good opportunity to like actually flood, because you're kind of fucked in a retake when you're triple drop. Just dish is so bad.
Brimstone down.
This is a little unlucky, yeah, timing wise, because it's not like Cuz takes a random timing here. He doesn't even take a timing off audio. Yeah, I mean, but this is the risk that you take on in a round when you give all this space. Now the flood comes. There's no smoke on main because our smokes died. Bro, like, imagine if imagine we're playing a 4v5 and Cage is not part of this round. Isn't that fight just way better than this fight? Imagine the world instead. Smoke here, smoke here.
I'm out here.
Obviously you hear the plant here, so you'd probably stun like this. the classic, like, there's a really good drill you can do that prevents the A main plant, kills anybody that's there. These missiles that are thrown here are actually really, really good. You can go look at the util when they throw it again. Stun held for sight. Missiles are preventing the far angles and killing the people that are at default. So the only gap is exactly where they're standing. Smokes would come out. Man. This could be so money, man. This could be so money. Probably the best stun you could do would be something like this. I'm like kind of fucking it, but there's definitely, if there's no smoke, it's a lot easier to throw this kind of stun that actually gets all of default and close like this. Is this unlucky, or should Mel have waited for Noya to hold the smoke so she can hold tower? I think that is just... First of all, I think it's too slow. When you have 3 players in dish, you're fucked. You're actually fucked. And you should feel fucked. You should play for a flood. What up, by the way, FaZe? 10 stream streak? Damn, bro. Bro, I kind of feel like shit, low-key. I might not even do the ranked VOD review. I've been having, like, crazy bad sleep, bro. Crazy fucking bad sleep. There was, like, 3 days in a row of fire alarms, and then today was the first day that I didn't get woken up at like 5 hours of sleep by a fire alarm. Still didn't probably get enough sleep, to be honest. Low-key, I need to tell Addy that I'm probably... Okay. Let's just finish off this VOD. So the fix is to send Brim with the pack and flood faster on the plant. No. Like even here, the Brim can still do exactly. It would be from here. Smokes come right here. You wait for the Brim smokes to come. They could take this fight 3v5. It would be a better fight. The smokes come. Boom, boom. Util, like I'm telling you, Breach Teo is not balanced. This whole A site, if you have a good protocol and a good exec, it should, like the whole A site is fucked. There would be 3 players not in the fight. It's realistically a 3v2 on the flood. It's way better than the fights that you get here when you like slow it down. We'll skip past this round though. It's just dish is so bad, bro. Straight up. This jiggle is not very comfy. If you're going to play for A main, I think that you should always play to get close. This player should always play to get here. Especially when you're Neon, you can always disengage. You have stun for close. You have Breach holding stun. And technically, Teo could even be holding stun as a bounce stun off the wall. This jiggle is really easy to contact into. You can get spammed through the box. Just not very effective. But this is the eco round. Whatever. Move on. Oh my god. Dodge the dog. Question is, do we peek on timing for Noya? Do we peek on timing now that they're not going to be hard holding? Expect somebody to be walking up clearing the site? Probably not, because our alarm bot didn't get broken. If our alarm bot got broken and she just ISO peeked like a player that was like here, that shit would be money. High key. Oh fuck. I think she's a little unaware. Close to the wall peaks. No, because she was smoking. She was smoking and expecting like maybe someone would go through the smoke. So she's holding it. But like realistically, she should angle out. Just angle it out. Angle it out here from safe. Take a good fight. She's probably like thinking about minimap or like IGLing or something. Like quite literally. Talking about maybe like could we regroup arcade and like double walk arcade? Can we fight arcade? Just not thinking, just kind of bodies moving into the angle. I feel like a lot of IGLs do that. This timing's pretty savage. I think because Breach has already used so much util and it made it obvious that you're playing arcade or playing canteen, it's so hard to go through, bro. Drill used, stun used, didn't look to punish off of either, but then looks to punish after as a late trade when your teammate dies. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's like kill this person, I'm hard holding the smoke. Just never gonna get value. Cypher see both of these players. Kind of a hard call. Some players would speed up here and go super fast. They could slow it down though in the 2v3. If Neon wasn't spotted, you could let the gaps do the work. There's a lot of fucking gaps here. They have to deal with all of arcade, Gen, canteen, and B main. They still have to grab spike. Probably don't have the info about the spike, but you could slow it down. Hero Neon run for sure. Yeah, there's a possibility. In matches, because there's things like comms, you can definitely miss people running. You definitely can miss it. Pre-stunning? I think pre-stunning drop is not that good. So much util burned on a lane that like people don't usually even contest. Is it true that you can't hear the zip until you land on the other side? I feel like I remember seeing that somewhere. That was literally one of my YouTube shorts, yeah. That's a pretty fucked up entry. As a coach, how long would you wait to go over a tough loss like this? Oh, I'm like pretty process oriented, I won't lie. So like I like personally don't really get too affected by this. It's like me, I would always, my protocol, I guess, as a coach would always be to ask if anybody wants to say anything about the match. Like just to get, if anybody does want to get something off their chest, I think it's like pretty good. There's like a lot of moments where this kind of vulnerability after a match can actually increase like the level of trust within the team. I would usually give like a quick little speech at the end of every match to kind of like get people to frame the themes of the map or the match properly. So when we like leave, like for example, after a win, you'd almost always say like something along the lines of like, it's fucking sick that we got a match dub, but at the same time, like, bro, there's so much that went wrong in this. Like, we have to stay focused on XYZ. We'll VOD review it either when we get back or like the first day of prac. Just kind of depends. I'd say mostly I do it when I get back though. I'd mostly do it when I get back, but like you would still do like a small debrief no matter what. And I would always give opportunity for players to speak up. Gives opportunity for more people to be leaders within the team as well. A lot of people say like you don't want to add emotion to it, but there's a lot of teams where you can debrief immediately after a game. And then if also people don't want to talk because they're going to say something that's like emotionally charged, that's fine. I just wouldn't force them to talk. But like, for example, like Boosie would be completely fine to talk after games.
I know exactly.
But like actual like long VOD reviews, like I'm gonna be honest, I don't do many long VOD reviews like this. In terms of VOD reviews as a coach, what I think is the absolute best system to do. So like let's say I was SRG's coach. The way I would VOD review this is I would bring up pattern examples. I would bring up pattern examples of like things that happened a lot throughout the match. Like maybe audio would be one, or like map details could be one theme. And then you would just go over like, before you play split on a split day, you would watch back this VOD and be like, hey, these are the things I want to change on split, and here's why. Here, we're not contacting enough on mid, so we end up burning a lot of util for free. So the enemy team kind of gets to play, and they're always ready for what we're doing because we're just throwing our util. So when we practice split that day, you're going to do a lot of like only contacting mid. Like I would make it a drill that day. If we go mid, we're not using util. I want you guys to solve it only with your gun and only by peeking together. And we would intentionally train contacting, and then like we would slowly build protocols kind of off of that. And then, yeah, like defense, we would come up with a few setup ideas. It's just like see problem, create solution, intentionally practice the solution. That kind of thing. So in this round, we do have a 4-man flood. This should be favored. I think Zamal lands a pretty insane entry here. I think more accurately too, it's kind of, it feels kind of counterintuitive, but like, I think that the majority of people, when you run here and you want to prevent the flood, you're going to missile here in the smoke because that's how you always do it. But I think it's way better on Fracture to actually missile the drop, because this actually has kill pressure. This guy that jumps out, he jumps past the missile here and is here in safety. See the missile comes here, top of the smoke. This guy's full safe in the corner. He's just chilling. And he has all the info. Molly under hookah type shit? Yeah. More accurately, like, if you molly though in a way that's like this, they can still just jump here. And this scaling is generally how people are gonna go into this area. They're gonna like always come here. So on the flood, our util can be better. Flash misses too. Flash needs to be high above the smoke, but it goes towards sand. Flash needs to basically land like up here. The reason why not over here is because like anybody that's flooding from dish would be, you know, obviously dodging it. And then like you also have the risk, right, where, you know, people are here dodging it as well. Probably the absolute best is just straight up in the middle of that. And my philosophy is always one piece of util and flood. If everyone threw one piece of util and flooded, Alexis wouldn't be banging this second flash. You just throw the one really accurate flash here, triple flood through, and then this flood high key needs to happen on the timing that your teammate is still alive. The problem is Zamal like actually instas dodo. I went to school, graduated, got a gig, got married, and 6 still ain't done with his VOD review. Yeah. Took a shower, had kids, got married, got divorced, Got married again. Got divorced again. It definitely takes me a long time. I won't lie. Bro, I actually feel like shit. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my god. So should Dodo even be peeking here? No, I think she's probably overfacing, but like you don't really expect to die that quickly. Like Zamal does kill Dodo very fucking fast. If you are a site anchor, it is like pretty fucking accurate for you to just be like kind of like only playing like these kinds of peaks. Like definitely not super like hard hold in the open, trying to kill the entry. But at the same time, you're playing Neon, so you can just do this like on timing. So it does kind of benefit you to be standing in the open to be able to do this. But you could tell the intention here is trying to track. Actually looks like they're trying to break the sky alt. Yeah. Should be a bit more mobile for sure. If you stay mobile, break the sky flash, get out of the angle. I would even stun close is fine. Could do a better job to anchor for sure. And the flood could do a better job to just use one piece of util and flood insta when the guy goes through, and then the Teo missile should be lower. This guy should be getting cooked. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Okay, unfortunately, Addy didn't actually see my message. Oh. Oh, Addy did. Addy did. Okay, Addy will... You're for sure going to get next stream, bro. Addy gets next stream, and Hex as well will be in next stream's VOD review. I think I need to take an off day, though, bro. I'm going to be honest. I think I'm a little bit burnt. I'll probably do a YouTube short tonight, just because I didn't do one yesterday. I was also feeling kind of exhausted, but getting a little bit burnt out. I think I do need to take another off day. Been enjoying watching what I can from your VODs since I've been busy playing. Thank you for this VOD review. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, dude, I definitely go like extremely in depth, and it takes a long fucking time to get there, but I feel like at the same time, there's so much you can learn from every VOD. Doing well at the tier 2 level in scrims, but still improving. W, bro. Massive W. Somebody wanted the Discord. Okay, so I am going to end in the next few minutes here. But yeah, if you are subbed, because I know there's a lot of new subs today, because Naruka and Mel both gifted a lot of subs today. Big respect. Thank you so much to you guys. If you did become a sub, when you join the Discord, make sure you connect your Twitch to your Discord, so that you're able to see the sub stuff. And then just know as well, like subs as an example, just so you guys are on the same page. You can ask me whatever. We have our own certain chat. Yeah, people have been doing Wordle, so I just made a Wordle channel. But you will get priority on these VOD reviews as soon as I have time to do them. Yeah, I will be taking a break tomorrow. Just been kind of feeling like shit, to be honest. But I'm gonna do a video tonight. I'll do a video tonight, get some good sleep, have a break day, come back refreshed. And then I think we'll be back to watching tier 2. We will be back to watching tier 2. But I appreciate everybody coming out to watch the VOD review, watch the stream. It's been a lot of fun. I have zero clue how to play Fracture at all, and games have been miserable. This helped a lot. Yeah, I would say, just because I didn't talk about it too much, the key things that I'm still seeing not happen for Fracture: no smoke on cross on defaults. I'm not seeing enough people get inserted underpass to like call the rotates. That's another big theme that we're not seeing. These plants on default are not getting denied enough. Teams need to abuse tech like this. Don't deny the default plant, or don't allow this default plant to happen. That's just fucked. Just way too fucked. There's a lot of stuff that's still missing from teams in terms of their fracture gameplay. And then having really good ult plays, like, I'm not going to lie, like, I think this is not enough. This is not enough. Not a good enough strat. Can you show the wallbang from Canteen again? Oh, it's more so just you line up on the left side of this hexagon, and then you just like crouch peek spam. You kill the planner every time. So like, let's say you're smoked off. I was using the brim example. I'll just show this one more time before I get off. So like, if you're doing this, right? Everybody's always gonna smoke off Canteen. So like, imagine you hear someone planning default. You're just chilling here, holding the smoke. You just line up here, crouch spam. If you wanted to molly, you do the bottom of this. And it fully denies plant. This is like really good tech for brims. Should be abusing it. This is usually the kind of stuff I would gatekeep and only tell my brimstone. And then my brim would be using it. Where do I find strats? Bro, I was thinking about this. I might monetize. There's kind of like something I'm waiting for. Can't talk too much about, but I think what I might do in the future is set up a Patreon or like Discord monetization, so that I would either have a bunch of like a lineup channel or something that you guys could pay $5 a month or something like that, and then you'd get like full access to like a bunch of lineups for every map or something like that, or maybe like strats for each map. I don't know. Haven't really decided yet. I think at the bare minimum, what I'll do in the future is create like game plans for individual agents for maps. I think would be fucking really nice. I think a lot of people would benefit from that. You could do a monetized strat book like I think Mini and Sliggy did. Yeah, I think that would be another way to kind of monetize. Right now I'm focused on growth. I view a lot of that like Patreon playbooking, this kind of stuff, mostly as like a way to cash out. Where do I find strats? Right now I don't have like a place where I have a bunch of strats. But if you watch like a bunch of my YouTube shorts, TikToks, I think you'll find like a lot of really useful stuff there. Kind of depends on what agent you're playing to. But I would probably do that in the future. Probably do that in the future once I have more growth. Right now I'm just fully focused on growth, to be honest. I think it's like one of those things, right? It's like fucking, you make a website starts getting popular, you kind of kill the website low key if you just put ads all over it. It's better to like get a bunch of growth, introduce monetization, this kind of stuff later. You'd rather like try to grow your community as much as possible first. Anyway, I appreciate everybody watching, coming out, subbing has been insane. There's a lot of crazy fucking, pretty sick to see so many people in chat. Fucking, we had like Mel in here, we had Crashies in here, a bunch of people. Fucking dope. All right, GG's guys, GG's. It's been a lot of fun.